What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Do you see a future where we do this show where it's just a room all of mattresses and we get to lay down while we do it?
No, because we won't. We will fall asleep.
Dude, I want us to do a bedtime GameOverGreggy show.
I'll definitely.
Let's do a pajama jammy jam. We'll do it overnight.
A pajama jammy jam.
Yeah.
Just do it at Extra Life. At Extra Life.
I love
that. And then the challenge will be who's the last one.
Guys.
Who's the last one to fall asleep?
Me and Kevin are immediately falling asleep in each other's arms.
raising money.
No, the kids will love it. They'll give us money based on how much we sleep, Kev.
How good was the documentary made?
Documentary was
how
real
much
good.
we
Not enough
sleep.
you watched it. YouTube.com/kindafunny. Over here, Mr. Baby Blues himself.
It's true.
At Tim Gettys.
What's Tim Host?
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
I want to hear about your DMV story. So
it's not an exciting story.
To bring you up to speed, I'm flying back from Detroit, Rock City last night.
Yeah, dude.
Get on this fucking thing. As soon as we get on, dude sits down next to me. Actually, not even as soon as we get on, actually. I lie. I get on. He's already sitting there. I'm like, oh, that's my seat. I get in. I sit down. He sits back down. As soon as I'm in, we don't have the guy in the window seat. They've already done hey, it's a full fucking flight.
Right.
Also, by the way, we are living a meme right here, as Bernie was like, if you have airplane trouble, don't tweet about it. Talk about it. Get your own podcast like the rest of us. He sits back down and just takes off his shoes. And he's wearing dress socks, but he takes off his shoes. And I'm like, I don't like this, but am I wrong? I started to tweet about it, and then I was like,
Right.
wait, no, am I wrong? And I made the poll about it, where universally people are like, no, fuck that. Although there were a lot of interesting caveats people wanted to put on. How long is the flight? Is he wearing socks? Do his feet smell? I think that's all superfluous information. We're in fucking public. Don't take your fucking shoes off. That's weird. You're not in your living room, and I don't like to think about my backpack being down there. I don't like to think about your dirty ass feet all over
You're
the
crazy.
My comfort level is if the flight is a long flight, you wait until you get up in the air, you wait until you settle out.
Yeah.
Basically, when the seatbelt sign, when you can get up to go to the bathroom, that's let's get comfortable time.
Yeah.
If you're,
My big thing is you take your shoes off, you start getting comfortable. What happens when you have to deplane? 'Cause
What
you always
about-
have to deplane?
yeah, what
then
about
you gotta put your shoes
fucking
back on? No one wants that.
window guy still has to come through. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
what, window guy going to step on your shoes, going to roll a fucking ankle?
Here's Kevin, do you want to chime in now? You had something to say. right?
yeah, I was just saying,
Kevin Coelho, kindafunny.com press pool.
I take off my shoes often. Usually, if the flight is longer than an hour. All right, and if it's a 5-hour flight, those puppies coming off right away, right away.
Okay.
All right, I don't have smelly feet.
Okay.
All right, that's number one.
Sure.
Number two.
I like how you paused because he knew
has
I
no
was
number
going to
two.
say something.
yeah,
he has
say,
stinky
say
feet.
something.
I'm not going
Fucking
to.
say something.
Because I'll
Cows.
fucking hold you down
Everyone
right now on the
knows.
He's a
floor.
smell amplifier.
He is.
Is that what it is?
Not
When
a
the feet
smelly
come out,
person.
all of a sudden it
Smell
smells like
amplifier.
feet. His feet smell like
Smell
muffins.
my
Everyone
armpits
else's
right now,
feet start
guys.
smelling bad.
I believe you.
Does it smell bad?
Probably not.
It doesn't.
I take mine off every once in a while. I would say maybe 1 out of 10 flights.
Here's where I want your opinion. Well, first off, shout out to people who responded that, yeah, I take mine off and put on slippers. They pack slippers for the flight.
See,
And I
house
was like,
slippers are fantastic.
that's a baller idea. All right. Try this one on for size. Just try this on for size, right?
Why does that make you feel better?
Because then
It's
at least they've
comfortable.
thought it through. They're not just going to be fucking savages like I'm sitting in their fucking living room.
You know how dirty that fucking plane is anyway?
I don't think about
Disgusting.
it.
You know how many
Who
people
gives a
peed
shit?
on that floor? Probably.
Here's what all right, so thank you. You're following me on this one
Probably
then.
not.
So
Yeah,
what
you gotta
this
go to the
guy
bathroom
does
at some
is
point.
he eventually gets up before we
no.
even leave and walks back there. Not into the bathroom,
no.
but walks back into the galley and is
Yeah.
talking to the fucking
Yeah,
flight
there's
attendant and
lots of
comes
pee-pee
back.
and caca on
I'm
that
like,
floor.
what are you doing, man? What are you fucking
cares?
doing?
You guys are crazy.
And then
guys are
both him and the guy
crazy.
over here fucking watching a United private screen and bullshit on their phones. Bring an iPad. Fucking think it through. If
Honestly,
you're
this is
so
where-
this was your grand
This is
plan.
where I disagree with you because I actually
5.5
I just
hours
watched
on
it
this
my-
plane. You're gonna stare at you're gonna watch guys watching Thor Ragnarok on his iPhone. Not even X. Watching his iPhone SG, whatever the fuck.
It's one of those things where the next time I do a United flight,
Lay it on me.
I might borrow one of the Ghostbuster World pop sockets that we have.
Sure.
Slap it on my phone so I can hang my phone in front of me. I actually like the United app. I actually like that you can go through and pick all your things yourself because it alleviates a little bit of the stress that I always have on the Alaska flights when that stupid touchscreen with the fucking glass in front of it doesn't really work that well and it's fuzzy as shit anyway. Like my iPhone's way better than any screen that's going to be in the back of that plane.
Next time I'm on a United flight, I might fucking get up and open the door and suck myself out. All right?
Maybe.
'Cause
Who the fuck
I'll
knows,
tell you
dude?
what. Again, I was
Every time.
Wait, did we talk about this on the morning
Yeah.
show? Didn't we?
No,
I'm
no.
not even getting into
It
how
was
much I
like-
didn't like the seats. Yeah, we talked about that.
You
right?
talk about who gives a fuck. The people that watch this show do not watch the morning show.
Just saying,
Fact.
they were uncomfortable
Fact.
seats.
Totally
they were
different
small.
audience.
I missed
Except for DJ
Virgin
Kento,
America
Lex
/
Gunner.
And you
Alaska.
had your shoes on.
I missed fucking
Sure, yes, I do.
Delta from the
Ignacio
flight
Rojas.
before. Joey Noah, you came in
Pretty much
here.
everyone
You
in
got something to
chat
chime
right
in?
now.
Are you a
Watching.
person
I know
of
you guys all
fucking
watch Morning
sanity?
Show. I love you very much.
Shut up! I am
Lexi Gunner, what
talking.
up? All right.
Right now, people are driving. They can't hear me.
No, you should not take off your shoes.
Thank
for
you, Joey.
courtesy
Is
of
Joey's mic
everybody
up,
else.
Kevin?
It's yeah.
B.
Oh my God, I love you. Can I
The
have more
stream in
ice
the other room cut out. Did he go to the bathroom without putting his shoes back on?
He went all the way back there, but did not go into the bathroom.
I've went in the bathroom without my shoes on.
Jesus.
What?
Because you're gonna get
That
pee-pee and
is a piece
poo-poo.
of shit. Like that, when I go to the bathroom in anyone's house, if I'm staying at their house, my shoes are off, my socks are on. Like you guys are
That's
acting
like
you
Yeah.
don't
out.
bathroom.
have millions of people
don't-
going back
literally,
and
do
forth.
you know how many people shit in a plane every day? Fact. 1 million people.
1 million people shit?
1 million people shit.
Man,
I don't know. Those
yeah.
bathrooms are disgusting.
Maybe I shouldn't be putting my sock in my mouth. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I know. You probably shouldn't lick the bottom of your feet
Yeah.
either, just as a general rule. To me,
So
it's,
hold on, time out 1 second. Question back to you then about
Yeah.
this whole thing. Do you, when you come home, leave your shoes on, or do you take them off at the door?
I leave them
oh,
on.
I always take my shoes off.
Taking off is usually
The
standard.
protocol?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you have guests, are you like, hey, can you take off your shoes?
I prefer it, but Kevin just fights back. And
That's
it
not
just
true. I
makes it
take off my shoe at
complicated.
your house.
Well, sometimes Kevin has those amazing like
shit.
mid '90s
I hate it
Doc
when-
Martens on,
Let me-
and they're really hard to take off.
Let me put it this way:
Tommy.
with 90%
Tim.
of the women that
Tim.
I've flown with, take their shoes off on planes. That just happens.
Gia?
Like
Gia Tab
when-
Harris?
I can't remember
I
her
don't
doing
think she
it.
doesn't. I've sat next
I
to her on
guarantee
flights
she
before.
would. I guarantee she would. There's not a doubt in my mind. But my thing is, you guys are freaking out
Call her
about
out.
like wearing
Call her up
socks
right now.
Wearing fucking socks in the bathroom or whatever. These nasty ass girls walking around with their flip flops on.
Yeah.
Outside in these New York streets
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
Y'all fucking nasty.
Oh, that's
Joey.
gross. Wait, with flip
I don't
flops?
know. I wear flip flops to the pool.
Okay.
Now
That's not
flip
it.
flops.
You're like the 1% then. Because
flip-flops.
don't
When I
trust
lived
this
in Southern
shit.
California,
you're
I guess
nasty
I did.
Why am I nasty?
Anyone that wears flip flops is nasty.
Why is that nasty?
Because your fucking feet are just getting in all this nasty ass dirt.
But your foot's
My
not
shoes-
touching-
in the
My
dirt,
shoes
though.
get dirty.
Do you know how flip
Look at
flops
that.
work?
Hello.
Hey, Gia, it's Greg. You're on the Game Over Greggy
dope,
show.
man.
Greg Miller, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Hey, would you take your shoes off on a plane? Do you?
Ooh. I might. Yeah.
As a general
But
rule,
do
though,
you?
does she?
Yeah, as a general rule, Nick Scarpino asked.
I have a follow-up.
Okay, hold on. I'm just going to pass you off to Nick, who conservatively could be your friend.
Okay.
Gia, can I ask you a question? There's a follow-up question to the other one, except it has nothing to do with it. Are we best friends because of this trip? Did we become really good friends on this trip?
We're definitely getting there. Yeah, for sure. I'm feeling good about it.
It's positive, but
Get
it's
the
not,
shoe. Get the shoe answer.
It's not as
Hey,
positive as I
Nick,
was hoping it would be.
ask her if I take off my shoes when I go to her house.
Does
My
Kevin?
husband's-
Oh, this is a
Yeah,
bit
go ahead.
more important question. When Kevin Coelho comes over to your house, does he take his shoes off at the front door?
What?
Like when he comes in, does he immediately
No,
take
you
his
take
shoes
your
off,
shoes off at
or
the
does
stairs.
he put his feet on your couch like he does here?
I've never noticed him barefooted in our home. I feel like mostly shoes stay on.
Not looking
No.
good, Kevin. Not looking good.
That's such bullshit.
So
They're
let me ask you
such
this question.
liars.
I'm going to paint a picture for you, Gia. You're on a plane ride. It's a 5-hour plane ride over to New York. At what point do you think to yourself, I might take my shoes off for comfort? Like, and here are your answers. Never. 1 hour in. Always.
Well, so here's the thing. I'm, as you know, sort of on the petite side, so I can.
You're not big.
I'm not big. So
Me
I
and
can-
Greg put
I
you in our pockets, carry you around.
Exactly, and so I can really cuddle up on an airplane seat, like middle seat, aisle seat, whatever. I can sit cross-legged.
God, I wish.
So there have been long flights where I've gone shoeless.
But as a general rule, you don't look forward to that time where you're like, I'm going to take my shoe off. Like, you're not counting down the time with doors closed, shoes off. Right?
No, absolutely not.
Thank you, Gia. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
One day,
Thank
we're
you.
going to work toward our friendship. We're going to be best friends one day, conservatively. Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I hope so.
Greg, do you have any other follow-up questions?
No, that's it. Thank
The
you,
defense
Gia.
rests.
Okay,
The defense
take care.
rests.
I don't really know what we proved with that phone call.
Halfway through, I just reminded myself how much I like talking to Gia.
I just feel like that's just I couldn't fathom taking my shoes off on a plane. It's not somebody's living room, and that's the thing, I guess.
International flights, I absolutely take my shoes off. At a certain point, you just go because your feet just start hurting because of the pressure of being up
No,
there
that
for so
just
long.
has never happened
take
to
'em
me.
off,
Maybe it's
man.
because Converse are the perfect shoe.
Have you ever laid your head against the side of the plane, Greg?
Yes, I have.
I rest my case.
Have you ever touched the seat of the plane with your head? Because no one's cleaning those fucking things off. Nothing's clean on that
Nothing
plane.
is fucking clean.
But-
we've seen these people clean. They don't. They just kind of walk in with their shiny little vests.
They do the thing that I imagine you do when you clean, where you just kind of
Absolutely.
move shit around. And
Yeah,
then like,
it's like, I'm
when I
doing
used-
something.
When I used to live with Tyra,
And make sure
he would
there's
just-
puke bags in
Yeah.
every fucking thing. That's all I
Even
gotta
they do.
do.
You know what I find disgusting? When you look in the seat,
Oh, I hate that. I
and
don't
there's
wanna think
someone
that.
else's trash in
Yeah,
there.
Oh, yeah.
no, I
And
don't
I'm like, you couldn't
that.
even fucking give
No,
me the
dude.
illusion of cleanliness in this goddamn plane.
no.
It's disgusting. And then I go, like, every once in a while, I'll order something to eat, and I'll start eating it and realize I haven't washed my hands yet.
Yeah,
But shout out to
yeah.
Alaska because they have the best smelling soap out of any airline on there. It's like a pepperminty soap.
It's straight from Alaska.
Fantastic. Oh my God, it's great.
Damn.
It's great.
That's how you know. That's how
Yo,
you know.
shout out to Alaska's new little scarves.
Oh, they're cute.
You notice this?
Yeah.
I like them. They're like a nice blue-green gradient. There's a lot of big Kind of Funny Games Daily vibe going on. Fucking
I
into it.
hear the person that designed them, huge Games Daily fan.
Yeah.
Pierre Jean Games.
Yes.
Is his name.
Oh,
Pierre
damn.
Jean Games. Wow.
Jean Games,
Is he
yeah.
like it because Games is in his last
Well,
name?
he,
and
like,
the
he
time?
just likes games. He changed his name to Games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
That's a
Wow.
whole process.
It's
What's
like
Pierre sound like?
David
City Hall.
Copperpot.
What? Oh, because he liked pot
Copperfield.
so much.
Yeah.
Well,
Who's
he
the
didn't like
magician?
him, so he had to change it.
Copperfield.
Yeah,
David
he likes steals and
Copperfield.
copper, so he's just
Yeah.
like, fuck it, let's get out there.
Sure.
You gonna ask me a question about PSX?
No, what?
What were you gonna say? I think
no.
it's PSX. I was
Pierre,
like-
Pierre.
Oh,
It
Pierre.
sounded like we were on the
Games.
verge of another split
cup.
personality for you for
Oh,
what you've been working on here.
No, I would have to work with your wife to nail a French accent. So I gotta spend more time with Jen.
I don't know if I'll allow that. All right.
You know, I was
You're
telling
already
you
best
off
friends
camera,
with Gia. Why do you want to go be friends
Well, I
with
want to
her?
be friends with everyone. I'm a friendly guy. I was puppy sitting Portillo in the Austin airport when Jen went to get a big bottle of Fiji.
So for 5 minutes, you sat next to Portillo to make sure he didn't jump out of his bag.
I don't understand
trying
what
the
your
whole
big
time.
criticism with this dog is. He was perfectly lovely.
What do you mean? My
He
criticism.
didn't
I
do
love
anything
him.
wrong. He just sat there and looked at me, and I pet him the entire time.
Yeah, that's all you need to do for him.
But I also want somehow, and follow me on this,
I'm on it.
we make a life-size crate. That's what Kevin goes in every once in a while. And he mashes his head against the thing when he wants out, just like Portillo does.
Dude, Portillo looks
Kev, are you down
so
for that?
comfortable, but in the least
good.
comfortable positions.
Oh, where
It's
he like hangs his
he'll
head
hang
out of that
himself
bag like he's
on
choking
the thing.
himself.
He's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing that?
There are plenty of times in bed he'll have his head like shoved into a pillow or underneath the covers in a way that you can hear him struggling to breathe. You
Yeah.
have to be like, no, we're gonna move this. Like you're like you're like, all right, no, like you're cutting off all the blood flow to your brain right now.
We had a great moment in the Austin airport. We got through. First off, I had the most Nick moment that you've ever seen. Where we're all tired at this point.
Sure.
Like we did the panel in the morning. It was fantastic, but the panel, I was like, that's all I got energy for. Shout out to Uncle Julio's. We went to that, brought me back a little
out to
bit.
Uncle Julio's.
We get through the security and they pull my bag and I'm like, oh Christ. Right? And I see it happen. I'm like, just relax. Like, and this very nice looking young lady pulls it. I'm like, don't give her shit. Just get through this. Whatever's in your bag that they saw, because I thought it was my toiletries, right? Little did I forget. Championship. She's like, do you have some sort of like plate or metal thing in your bag? And I was like, well, let me tell you, I'm the Kind of Funny world champion. I didn't have it. I lost it on Thursday. I brought it back. And she's like,
Nick
let me
went
stop
full
you.
in.
I went in and she's like, I got to put this through the metal detector. And I was like, I need you to put it through.
Yeah, can I take
And I'm
a
like, can I take a
picture?
picture of it? This is hilarious. I'm like, I'm make a big thing out of this.
Through the
Oh
X-ray.
yeah, I came through the X-ray and I got it right
Oh,
as
shit,
it's coming
really? I
out.
didn't see this.
Oh yeah, it was on my Instagram. So I had fun with that. No, I didn't get the actual shot of the X-ray. I couldn't see it.
Oh yeah,
No,
you
it
got
was
it coming
just
out.
as it's
Yeah, I
coming
saw
out.
that. I saw
Oh,
that. I
see,
thought you went
wish
around
were
the
there.
corner
That would've
and
been-
got
I
it like
put
on
through
the
again. I need
X-ray.
you to take a picture of this on my phone.
Yeah.
Bring it in. So it's
TSA's like, yeah, fine. Also, that
what
gun
was
looks
funny
good.
about it is
Yeah.
then it comes through and Nick gets it, and all the TSA agents that the like extra useless ones that just kind of stand around there,
The
and-
minglers, the grazers.
yeah, the ones where it's like when they call hands, they're supposed to go, but they never,
They never
actually
do. They're having a
fucking go.
conversation at the end of the belt.
They're having a conversation. There's like, what's that? Is he a wrestler?
Yeah.
And I was just
I told
like,
them all.
Jesus Christ! Like
I
they
did that-
literally
I did
think
that
Nick
thing-
is a fucking not only a wrestler, a
He is?
champion.
A championship.
It's true. Both these are true.
I had that moment where there was a guy. There's always the guy.
guy.
Always the fucking
Mike.
TSA agent who has to sit there and annoy everyone by repeating no waters,
Yeah.
no snacks, no nothing. And he gets to me now. I put my bag up there first, big bag up there first, push it through, right? Get out 3, not 1, not 2, 3 bins. Okay. Put my backpack down. He sees the 3 bins, right? I start putting all my stuff in one, yada, yada, yada. He waits until I reach in my bag and he goes, no, you got to take all your electronics out of that. And I'm like, what do you think the other 2 fucking bins are for? Do you understand me? And then I'm like, he doesn't know who I am. Maybe he I look like a normal human being, like a civilian.
He doesn't
but
understand you're a champ.
I look like a civilian, but
No,
little do they know.
That's the problem. Is I
Just leave
wish
me alone, you
I
fuck.
wish when I should preface this. I wish when I was a normie like yourself before I had TSA pre-check, I didn't have to worry about any of this shit.
Well, I'm getting it.
But when I was
fucking getting
steerage,
it.
when I was one of the many rats like yourself scuttling around trying to avoid the trap, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I would also get mad at the no liquids, 3 ounce, no, and they're all mad and grumpy. You're like, man, just shut up. We get it. But the amount of times I'd be in front of or behind someone and be like, what do you mean I can't have this giant bottle of water? Like, when the last time you fucking flew? Well, I have to take my shoes off? Like,
Yeah, people get pissed.
yeah, you also can't bring your box cutter on. What are you fucking talking about?
I'll say this though.
Do you not remember 9/11?
As a person-
we said we'd never forget.
We let 'em
and
win.
every day we forget more.
Yeah, the terrorist one. I'll say this though. Going there.
Going to Austin.
Nah, I love Tim Gettys.
He's something.
And I would say 99% of the time,
I'm not gonna
he's the
touch you,
most.
but this is like me
Yeah,
comforting
let him touch
touching you.
Yeah.
No,
he's the most
no.
easygoing person I've ever met in my entire life. But he has
We're wearing
had
him down on that for
maybe
sure.
in the last 6 months, 1 or 2 choice moments of rage. And man, let me tell you, fucking going through SFO, he was not having it.
What happened? What
to the
happened?
point where he was like, "I'm TSA,
as
Gia's
always.
not." And he just looked at me. He goes, "Nick, she's yours now." And like he boned and like I was like, he's like, "I'm never going through the normal line ever again."
Yeah,
never. I can't even remember why you got mad.
It was a bunch of things.
It's just you got hands or something like that.
Well, the first going there, I was like, Gia, I guess I'll stay with you because she didn't get the TSA.
and there wasn't
thing.
much of a line, really.
There was enough, but like having to go through, and I was like, I know they're gonna fucking get me on this shit, and they got me on the shit. Both my bags had to be searched. They had to check my phone. They had to like do all the stuff. I'm like, this is just, I hate you. If I was just over in that line,
Yeah.
they'd be like feeding me freaking LaCroix. They would just be like, come
Which-
through, we love you.
When I come
You're
through
this
TSA
person.
pre now, they do give me a chocolate and say thank you for being.
Now
But
here's
it was on the
thing.
way back that I was like,
Yeah, you're like, I'm
but
not
I was
doing
like,
this.
she's yours.
Me and Gia just
Were
had
you
a
just too
long time out.
exhausted?
I'm not fucking like I don't have the energy to
But isn't
fucking
it
be upset at these people.
Hilarious that and this shows the fucking sham that is the airport security is that if you went through the other line, they would have done none of that to you. And that all that proves is it's all just a fucking money.
It's all fucking
It's just a
shit,
money
dude.
grab.
What are you talking
It's
about? They
all
got
a
my
bullshit money
fingerprints. I'm
grab.
safe now.
Yeah.
I'm
But
safe.
why don't they have us like they can't tell that Tim's not that fucking guy? I don't understand.
Now,
It's
if
all,
you
all
want to know
stupid.
how bad the security is, right?
Yeah.
You want to know how bad TSA pre-check is?
you snuck through a fucking knife again?
I snuck through something even more deadly than a knife.
Weed?
A little bottle of Tabasco sauce.
Oh
that at
my
any point,
God,
I haven't
I
given it
tell
to
you right now.
Joey. At any point, I could have walked up to the pilots and been like, hey, big fan. Ah! And then I'm
Right.
like, you know what? We're doing a barrel roll.
I thought for a second, I thought you were gonna go. You blind him, smash, little mini knife.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Should've
yeah. Very little.
I stabbed the other eye because
I got to get it right in the vein.
right in the fucking vein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sharp and spicy.
There's some
Yeah,
comedian who had a bit after 9/11, but before we got to the stupid 3 ounce of liquid thing, where he was flying next to a guy who was like, "No one's taking this plane." He had a giant bottle of Tabasco sauce. Like that was his solution.
That was
if someone
the solution.
just
I
get
mean,
him
that
out.
shit does hurt when it gets in your eye.
Sure, but it's
not
a,
enough
it's
to
a big
probably
shot. That's a
stop
big
you
shot,
from
right?
shooting someone. Yeah,
I feel like it's this, and I knock the sauce out of the air.
yeah.
So on the way there, when we were at
Sauce coming
SFO
out.
going in, and I had to stay in the normie line.
Yeah.
There's the little X-ray fucking
Backscatter machine, they call
yeah,
it. Yeah.
the backscatter
The thing
machine.
that most assuredly is giving all of us pancreatic cancer.
And then there's the other one next to it that's just like the normal metal detector
Yeah,
thing.
which
that's
I
like
always
the
prefer
TSA
going
lane.
for.
From Logan.
Yes,
I
exactly.
don't think it was in that one, but yeah,
Days of
whatever.
Future
Past.
And the one before then, Wolverine.
So I'm like, whatever. I'll be with Nick and Gia, I guess, and I have to wait. and do
Fucking
this stuff.
terrible, no
And I
one.
ask the people, like, do I have to take my shoes off on TSA? And usually they're like, no, it's fine. This one he goes, no, it's only for the TSA lane. And I look directly next to me where it says TSA lane, and I'm like, he goes, no, you got to go through this one. I'm like, all right.
It's
The
all
rules make no sense.
stupid.
You
and
gotta just
arbitrary.
give up on your
And it's not
normie
keeping anyone
friends.
safe.
You know what I mean?
Trust me, I told him. I mean, I had my breakdown. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Trust me, I understand that it's hard. I've never felt more in line
Mm-hmm.
with the queen of the hive. You know what I mean? When you see these queen ants just sitting there,
Yeah.
fucking being fanned
yeah.
and shit, and I'm sure they look out every day and they're like, oof, I would love to come help you mindless drone ants that
you're
are being
idiots.
squashed and tortured
care
around
about
the
you.
world. But I'm the queen and I got to do what I got
I'm
to
better
do.
than you.
Yes, queen is where it's from.
Here's what I'm saying. You know how I'm a late adopter of things.
Yeah.
You know how for the longest time I was like, no movie pass, and you're like, Nick, why don't you get movie pass? All of your excuses for not getting movie pass make no logical sense.
None.
And I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
TSA is not that for me. The pre-check thing, I want to get global entry. I just keep forgetting about doing it because I block out the pain of the airport right after I leave it. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, thank God that's over. I never want to think about that again.
The good news about it, Nick, is that it's a lot easier than you think. There's less steps involved.
I know I got to go for the interview.
But all you got to do,
pretty much
though,
it.
the step one is just go to the website and just hit get appointment. You're not going to be
Okay.
able to get one for
Okay.
like 3 months.
Okay.
So then it's just, you don't need to think about it. And then one day it'll just happen.
okay, I love it. And then how much is it per year for? Do you guys have global or do you have TSA?
I have
I
global.
I have global and it comes with my credit
Global's
card.
better, right?
It's multiple years. Yeah. It gives you
Cool.
pre-check.
Five
TSA
years.
is 85 for 5 years.
But global's what, like 100 for
And you
3
get
or
both.
Yeah.
5?
I'm
I don't
in,
know.
man. I'm fucking in.
Hell
Do
yeah,
it, man.
dude.
And I'll tell you why,
It's a good
because you
deal.
know what it is. They have that global line when you come back from international trips when you're groggy as fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't
Yeah,
that correct?
that's true.
Yeah, and
You're
that's
right.
the
You're
one I
right.
really want. I don't care so much about these. It's after a 9-hour flight, and I'm just like, I don't want to fucking. Because I'll tell you this, people, if you're watching in other countries, your customs agents are perfectly lovely compared to the United States customs agents. All the U.S. customs agents I have, I can't make them laugh for the fucking life of me. They are not breaking a smile.
Do we have a
They're not
best
having
friend who works in
anything.
Montreal? Get him next time.
As a Canadian? He's a Canadian that works in Montreal?
Well,
Or is
in
he works
Montreal,
in the
you
US?
do U.S. customs before you come back.
Yeah.
So you
I
do
want
them
him.
there at the border.
Because I'm not saying that the customs agents here are bad. They're just not human. They're just Terminators. And I don't want to deal with that.
I get it.
Because, I'm a very paranoid person. I can't break the law. And in my brain, it's one of those things where they start asking me questions. I start panicking.
Yeah.
I have nothing to hide, but I start panicking. Do I have any fruit on me? Did I interact with some sort of livestock? I don't know. I can't remember. I pet a camel once. I forgot to tell. I don't know. I start panicking. They see the sweat. They shoot me in the head.
Damn, dude. Those Montreal people are crazy.
That's not how you shoot. That's, you want your eyes on the thing you're
'cause of
shooting.
blood gets in your eyes. You can't keep shooting.
Yeah, okay, but again, right now, if you're a listener at home, Nick's shooting with his right hand,
Sideways.
covering his face with his left, but keeping his fingers spread so he can see through the slots. It's still gonna get you.
Try it,
The
try
blood. I'm gonna spit. Your eyes getting wet right now. Like,
No, just my forearm because I have. This is the fucking defense.
I don't think you can move fast. You just wiped my spit out of your eye. Like, yeah. If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Game Over Greggy show each and every week.
I love
4,
these.
sometimes 3 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can get each and every episode early. See, we post it weekly. Every Friday is one big podcast and on youtube.com/kindafunny. But if you wanted it a full week early, you can go to patreon.com/kindafunny. Get it as a live broadcast with the pre and post show. Get it as an MP3. Get it as a video that includes the pre and post show. That's no longer live because that's not how video on demand works. But if you have no bucks, stars away. youtube.com/kindafunny podcast service around the globe. Thank you for your support. Like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. If you enjoy what we've been doing, go to Patreon. Fucking punch that bell. You see the P.O. box? Send us fan mails there. If you see Kevin on the street, whip donuts at him.
I saw a funny YouTube video yesterday by one of our boys from Moving Mind Studios.
Oh, I haven't-
Ryan George.
God, I haven't heard of
What's
them
he
in
working? He's
forever.
working
Works at Screen Rant.
Yeah. Good for him.
Kick-ass job.
Do
over
they
there.
still
funny
do
as
Moving
fuck.
Mind stuff, or is that over with?
Not really,
Okay.
but yeah. But anyways, he's kicking ass over there, and he made a video that is, it was a Twitter video, actually.
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air,
that,
season 4.
Like, went viral. It had like 3,000 retweets or some shit. But it was, what if movies ended like YouTube videos? It was pretty fun.
I saw that get shared yesterday. Yeah.
Has,
Where it was the
George?
end of Star Wars Force Awakens. Is that it?
Star Trek. It was the end of Star Trek, and it was like, "Hey, what's up, guys? I'm J.J. Abrams. Hope you liked the video. If you did, check out more of my movies and blah 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 blah
That's
blah for
funny.
some behind the
That's
scenes."
cute.
It was
That's
good.
cute, right?
It is fun.
Now that we're talking about viral
Yeah.
shit.
Holy shit!
Has anybody talked about Andy?
I have. He is. I hit him up.
You saw this, right?
No, what'd he do?
Bring up Andy's Twitter. Kind of funny, Kevin. Thank you very much.
I texted Andy the next day, and I was like, "This is the lamest text I'm ever gonna send you,
Yeah.
but it's also the most honest. I'm fucking proud of you. Congrats."
So
did
do you
it."
have no idea what we're about to talk about?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Andy
now.
put up the best tweet ever. If you remember at RTX, we went out. Don't scroll yet, Kev. Sorry. If you remember, we went out to a bar.
Okay.
The final
Floppy disk.
night.
Repair
Yeah,
company?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna go and hang out and actually, or no, I guess not the final night, but
That
one of our
wasn't
nights.
violent. It was yeah.
We had a lovely team dinner.
Yeah.
Then we were going to go to the bar and chill out and talk to each other. And we walked into what we were told was a speakeasy, and it is a speakeasy. However, it was a speakeasy that
Wasn't
was
easy to
fucking
speak.
cranking goddamn music.
terrible.
Which is
Fucking
awful, and
terrible
I
bar.
think against what a speakeasy is. That's why I like the massage parlor place we go to before.
Oh,
yeah, sexy.
Andy got inspired and tweeted the following. Now, Kevin, find it for me. Find it, Kevin. Enhance. Find it, Kevin. Enhance.
God, he tweets too much. This is why I
Keep
don't follow
going.
him.
Oh,
It's
you're.
out. There it is.
Oh my fucking Christ.
So the tweet reads, audio listeners, I have a billion idea. Check it out.
Holy fuck.
A bar that plays music at about half the volume of other bars. Currently, more than 15,000 retweets.
What
More
the
than
fuck?
130,000 likes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I love
And
it.
the best thing is his follow-up response. Whoa, this blew up, huh? Check out my SoundCloud, impeachdonaldtrumpnow.org.
Wow.
The layers of comedy are so good.
This is so good.
Now, if you go back, Kevin, go back to his main page. It might be. Did he ever natively tweet about it, or did he just tweet at me about it? Did you see? There it is. There it is.
Good
There
for
it is.
you, Andy.
Scroll down to the one that's not him, the me. Click on this. The Chicago Tribune nominated him for funniest tweet of the week. Click on this and vote. You don't. I don't know if it's closed yet. he was fucking destroying, of course, because the Kind of Funny best friends are super supportive. You can show it to everybody, Kev. You can show it. You don't have to do anything. There you go. Vote. And he's killing it. 53% of the vote right
I
now.
love it. Tweet of the week.
That is great.
But yeah, I was like, that's a really funny tweet. And then I like fucked off. I retweeted it and fucked off. And then I came back and saw it again. I was like, what the fuck?
What the living
And like
fuck?
it got on Reddit super high
Yeah.
and all this stuff.
So
I'm telling you right
Nick,
now. Yeah.
this tweet is such a success that
He's
I've
quitting
seen
Kind
him
of Funny
on
going to
multiple meme accounts
Yeah.
that I follow.
Yeah.
Really?
Where they're like cutting out to their credit, they're giving him credit.
I enjoyed
Normally they don't do that
somebody
shit.
broke it out on the Kind of Funny subreddit, and it's what is it, white people thoughts or whatever,
White people Twitter.
white people Twitter, and
It's like,
somebody's
yeah,
like, wait,
why
why
is
is it
this?
on this? Why is it on this?
That's hilarious. But to be fair, that just proves that
There's a market.
There's a market for this. I don't understand. I've never fucking had one single solitary person explain to me the fucking psychology behind not be like pumping music so loudly in a bar. A club, I get. If you're gonna dance, you want that. I don't want
If
to
there's
fucking
a
see
dance
anything.
floor, it makes
Get
sense.
it.
If there is not, there should either not be music or it should be at 20%
Very low volume
volume.
so that it feels like there's more people. The whole concept behind the music at the bar is that it feels like there's more people than there are at the bar. That's great.
get a little
This
background
place,
noise.
for context, was approximately the size of this studio.
Yeah.
Like, i.e., fucking tiny.
Yeah.
And they had a DJ that was blaring like Journey. And I'm like, what the I get that it's a hipster bar. It's a place called the fucking Floppy Disk Repair Co. And it has swings in it. So I understand they're going for a specific vibe. And the guy that came up to help me when I was like, hey, how do you feel about this drink? He's like, I don't know. How do we feel about it? I'm like, I feel like you should bring it to me. I'm going to fucking break the glass and stab your goddamn eyes out.
put
You
some
fucking
Tabasco
hipster
on
piece
it?
of shit. Yeah, like I don't appreciate this attitude.
I was totally caught-
Turn the fucking music down.
I was caught off guard and I kind of fucked up because I didn't deliver this message. But at the end, when we were getting ready to leave, like the owner came by and was like, oh, hey, like, what are you guys in from? Like, oh, somebody's, oh, thanks for coming. Like, the owner, and he's like, how did you hear about us? And I was like, and it was just like, wait, or maybe it wasn't the owner, but like the manager.
Yeah.
And it happened so fast that I should have been like, oh, wait, we're leaving because this sucks. Like,
Yeah.
you understand
Fucking
it? Like,
sucks.
this sucks right now. Like,
And not only that, but I'm like, no one around here. Like, I looked around at people and like no one was talking because it was so fucking obnoxiously loud.
No one
do-
looked phased by it, I will say.
No one looked happy
We
either.
were the only.
well, it was all the red lights, man. It was red lights.
We did not look happy.
We weren't happy.
Everyone
And
else
then,
did. I was
the
like,
other
this is-
insults injury as my. And by the way, I'm tired right now, so I'm obviously going to be I'm a little closer to the surface. My nerves are a little closer to the surface, but exposed. What is the?
I'm just scared.
Yeah, where we go?
That's fine. Yeah.
I'm just gonna complain right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
Where we go,
Let it
hey,
out, man. You're in a safe
We're all
spot.
trying to just relax. We're like, you know, what we should go back. Let's go back to the hotel bar because hotel bars,
oh my God.
maybe
right.
a little bit of a little
Right.
bit of piped in music. This is a business hotel we're staying at, right? Get back there, live cover band in the hotel bar, loud as fuck.
Loud
And
as
I'm like,
all shit.
who does this?
Now, here's the
Austin.
fucking worst part about the live cover band. The dinner we went to earlier that night also had a live cover band, and they were fucking awesome.
dope.
But there was one problem with both of them. They both performed sitting on the dock of the bay, and both fucking bands were cowards, afraid to do the fucking whistling part.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
What's the point of doing the fucking song if you don't even do that shit?
Oh, that was Smash Mouth.
That was Smash.
Sorry. I'll tell you, shout out. What was that? Tolucos?
Yeah.
What was that fish restaurant called?
Lux.
True Lux.
True Lux. Fantastic.
Yeah, Gia's friend worked there for years, so we always used to go whenever we'd go to Austin.
Cocktails, great. I
Hanky
don't
panky.
normally.
Go get the hanky panky.
Oh, the hanky panky was fucking great. I don't normally like the whole lounge bar act, but they were crushing it. They
were
played.
crushing it.
They played covers of like
Subdued?
but like subdued covers of like. I swear to God, did they cover Thriller? At some point,
Oh,
they
they
covered.
did.
Yeah, it was Thriller,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
However-
But it was like Muzak version of it.
Amazing food, amazing
Not all of it
cocktails,
was great.
amazing service.
Great service.
I had to leave the restaurant for 15 minutes because I was too cold.
Oh, I love it. In Austin, Texas.
Yes, I know.
That's
'cause
what was
how
great.
I love it, dude.
I'm used
Pipe
to.
that
I
shit
know the
in.
Midwest. Don't get me
Drown
wrong.
me.
Now I'll
air.
say this too. Okay, now this is know me. I get anxiety when change happens.
Sure.
Now we had Lou and Fareed coming. Big old Lou Funky Cole Medina and our friend Fareed who works at Rich Street as well. We work with.
Well, Lou works at Sugar Pine 7, but yeah.
Lou is basically a shill for Sugar Pine 7.
Yeah.
He couldn't acknowledge that we exist. His fucking life depended on it. Doesn't matter. Long story short is they hit Tim up. They're like, hey, what are you doing for dinner? Tim's like, oh, we're at this place. Nice fish restaurant. You guys can come by if you want. He tells me I start getting anxiety. I'm like, oh, Christ. Here we go. I don't know what's going to happen. We're going to ask for 2 more people. Does this table have spots for 2? I'm like, just relax, drink your cocktail. It'll figure itself out. You asked him, you're like, hey, is it possible to add 2 more people? Guy's like, and I've never seen a server do this before. Without skipping a beat, no problem. We got this table transforms into a bigger table.
And
And
it
I'm
was
like,
fucking
holy
magic,
shit.
dude.
And the guy, he like snapped a finger in my mind. He didn't really, he like actually
Yeah.
courteously called over someone to help him out. The guy's like, cool, I just need you two to move. And 2 people got up, and then all of a sudden it turned into from an oval table to a round table. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Now,
and nothing, it was a great night.
This is where I'm saying it.
Then we went to that abysmal bar afterwards.
This is what we talk about with Eric Castro, right? Hospitality, service. They are charging us a fair price for all the food and drinks and stuff, right?
yeah.
But the service, top notch.
Impeccable.
To the point that, remember,
They decrumbed the table.
we saw 3 booths over here. And we saw them all somehow get more romantic. At first, we're sitting there chilling out. People come by for this one. They start putting rose petals around the table. And it was like, oh, that's very cute. Then the next one, more rose petal. The one over here. So there's a middle one still open. One over there. More rose petals there and like a candle. Oh, that's even nice. The final one, rose petals. A dozen long stem roses, balloons that say "I love you," happy anniversary, also happy wedding. And I was like, wait, that doesn't make sense. It can't be both.
And then Shaggy came out and performed "It Wasn't Me." It was crazy.
Oh,
that's
It
true.
wasn't me. I feel bad that I just ripped that bar apart. That's not a bad bar.
No, fuck that bar.
It's just not what we
Fuck
want.
that
Hey, you know
bar.
what? Everybody,
Straight up,
they know. Now they know when they go to Austin. You want to go to the Urban Cowboy Massage Parlor? That's the speakeasy to go to.
Midnight Cowboy.
Midnight Cowboy Massage Parlor?
Actually,
That's
just
the
really
speakeasy to go to.
anything that starts or ends with massage parlor, you want to go to probably.
Yeah, probably.
I think
Yeah,
that's probably what you want to go to. Yeah, I don't know. I've always been that though. I think I hit a certain age where I'm like, I just don't have. But here's the thing: I like engaging with people, and the way I do that is by talking to them, having them hear me, and then responding. And I just don't understand any environment that doesn't allow me to do that.
That's why I like Starbucks so much.
It's great. Coffee houses.
You know what you're going to get.
You know what
let me
you're
ask
gonna
you,
get. You can
when's
talk
the
to
last time
people.
you went to a coffee house and you walked in and they were just piping in fucking club music? What? I said a venti iced coffee. What? A what? No, that's because those are environments where you're supposed to talk. Why can't a bar be any different? I would love
I like
to sit down and have a
walking in here
cocktail and
and
talk to a bar.
light Florence in the machine.
Yeah, a little
you know
bit.
what I mean?
Little something. Oh yeah.
Stand
maybe
by
some Jason
me.
Mraz going
But I also
on.
just don't respect DJs. I should say that.
Oh, okay.
I should say that.
That's
We
where
have
should
friends who are
start.
DJs.
I do, and I love them, and I support them,
But
and
I
I support their
don't
endeavors,
respect
but I don't respect the institution of the DJ. Just don't do it.
What does that even mean?
Because they have to do, like, I get the hustle, right? But when you're in a place that small and you're like, it's my job to just fucking crank
All
up
right.
the energy level. It's like, read the room, man. Nobody wants this.
Okay. I see right there. You're making sense, but isn't that more on the management for choosing a DJ for a small room?
But the DJ, as a lot of people should think, is like the thought leader of the group, right? He should be the leader and be like, let's take it down a notch. When the guys turn up like, no, this is not the right environment for that. Like, I should, as a DJ, you walk into a speakeasy like that and you go, we're going to just lay down a nice bed
mellow
of
beats.
mellow.
Fucking do some trip hop.
Every once in a while, maybe throw in the Jurassic Park theme. Have fun. Everyone likes that theme. Everyone likes
But
it.
again,
Everyone
just
does.
to
You
make
heard
one
that?
more
Would you be
comment.
like, yeah,
I like
man.
this guy.
To
I
make-
respect
this guy.
DJs
To
now.
make one more comment, right? Didn't we also say we seem to be the only table not really enjoying ourselves?
Yeah, but
all
as
the
you
other
know-
young hip kids in this place were like, "Yeah, man."
No, Greg, as you know, I am the center point of everyone's life
It's true.
in my brain. So if I'm not enjoying myself, I'm
one
right.
is.
They're wrong. They don't know the way I have to lead.
I'm
them.
having dinner with Grimecraft tonight, and I don't know how to break it
Love
to him that you don't
Grimecraft.
respect his craft.
Love Grand Prep. Sat across from him at this Vino Pino place that we were at.
Vino Volo.
Vino Volo place.
Which
You're
familiar
Terminal
with Vino
2's
Volo.
wine bar, right?
Yeah.
The one that, no shit, Andrea walks up and they pour her the usual.
I was about to say that this Vino Volo, it's in like airports around the fucking world
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the wine place. And Andrea is such a regular that she, like, everywhere she goes, she gets a tasting.
Oh,
like,
God
that
bless
they're
her.
like, oh, yeah, you're one of our, like, supreme leaders or whatever the fuck.
I
know.
don't think that is what it's called.
I think it is, actually.
Vino Volva.
We're the
Volvo?
Vino Volva Supreme Leader.
Yeah,
dude.
Supreme Leaders of Vino Volva. No, I don't have any beef with DJs. I'm obviously
Sounds like you
teasing.
got some stuff,
I love
man.
Grimecraft. I love Grimecraft when he does the rave stuff and passes it, but that's the right environment for the
Sure.
DJ.
Dude.
That's the right environment for the DJ.
Totally different thing. What you're saying, you don't respect DJs in situations they shouldn't be in.
They shouldn't be there.
Or that where they're like
Like,
not reading the
ooh,
room.
ooh,
Like that's
ooh.
all that it is. Yes.
Fucking hate when they decide to take up the Nordstroms a notch and put a DJ in there. Hey, you shopping? It's our anniversary sale. Here's a DJ.
I've never seen that.
I
I've
want.
never
You know
seen
why
that.
I don't want a DJ? Because I have to fucking scream. Do you have this in a size 10 and a half?
Yeah.
And the guy who's clearly pissed off that there's a fucking DJ is like, I'll go look. It's annoying.
All I want in
Keep DJs
Nordstrom-
out of those environments.
That live pianist. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They
Oh,
don't do
yeah.
it anymore.
Yeah, they do. It's Showtime.
Oh, I gotta go.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I
They
saw
just
that
fucking
guy.
get on that thing.
Ba-doom, boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, boom. Hey, baby, here there is a call.
Oh God, it's fucking Kramer. No, Fraser.
I will give in terms
Michael,
of department stores. Express,
Michael Richards is touring.
I feel like
I'd go see him.
the music in Express does add to the ambiance and to the experience because it's not too loud. It is bullshit, but it's
It's
like
such a hard line to
it's chill.
walk with live music and music in general. Where you want it. Jen and I went to
just feel
a
like less is
jazz
more.
club downtown. Came in. This is awesome. We went down to where the music was being played, and even there, it's like, ooh, let's bring it down a level, man. We're here to talk, man. We're here to flirt.
That's
get our fuck on.
Yeah,
dude.
this is where we're supposed to, prime everything.
Yeah, dude, jazz. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I'm sure part of this is my elevated age, where I just don't have
What are you pushing
patience
now?
for things. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm saying the old adage of like, oh, get off, just turn down
Get
the
off my
radio,
porch.
like, get off my porch. I'm sure part of it is just because I've lived that life and I just don't have patience.
Yeah, you
for it
remember the
anymore.
comic club? You loved the music.
I love
then.
comic club.
That's
is
club, though.
Remember,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Clubs in bars, you got to get in and talk like this, and that's
But
what
I
people
hate
want.
it. I hate it
You
because
get in here, you go,
especially
nah, and you go, and then Tyroot's like, "Why are you smelling me, Nick?"
I'd be like, I just need to know what a man smells like. Tyroot came, by the way. It was good to see
saw
you
him.
guys. Saw him.
Yeah,
So
I
we
hung
talked
out with
to
him
He got
probably more than you
more
did.
and more jacked. I'm hanging out with him next weekend.
He was there. He was in the
He was, and he was not liking it either. I was like, Ty, you want? He's like, yeah, let's get.
We
the
tried to do
fuck
like a
outta
business
here.
meeting. Like, no, it didn't
Nah,
happen.
that was a
Yeah,
terrible
no,
idea.
it's terrible.
Now, to be fair, again, we're close to 6th Street in Austin. It was our problem for choosing that bar. But I just feel like I walked in, I was like, this bar is fucking
Well,
cool.
on paper,
And
it's a
then it was too
speakeasy. It
loud.
should be great. It should be
Yeah.
perfect.
that bar
for everyone.
chose us.
Yeah.
It did choose. It just chooses.
And now
us, yeah.
we've just like when a lung transplant chooses somebody, we've rejected it.
Yeah, we have.
It's not part of our body. You know
yeah.
what I mean? We don't need that lung.
Like in the movie Rat Race, kind of.
Was there a lung rejection
No,
in
it was
Rat
a
Race?
heart though.
Somebody had a heart?
I don't know.
In Rat Race?
Rat
That was
Race.
a
I
heart
remember
transplant
Mr.
movie.
Bean. I remember John
Mr. Bean.
Lovitz.
Do you remember
Wanda
how,
Sykes? Was
do you
Wanda
remember
Sykes
how-
in Rat Race?
Yes, she was. Do
Okay.
you remember how Rat Race ends?
Like one of Sykes is in every movie.
It ends with all of them crowd surfing to All Star by Smash
Yeah.
Mouth
Nice.
Yeah.
live.
When I was sitting in Champs with two P's at the
That's
Detroit
how you spell
airport.
it. That's the right way to do it.
So not the shoe
Is
store?
Detroit in the Midwest?
No. Yes, it is.
Is that technically Midwest?
Yeah, I asked everybody to make
How does
sure.
that
it is.
work?
It's in the middle of the country. It's to the west of the east,
Is that what it is?
and it's the middle of it.
Is
so
that
yeah.
Midwest? Because that term has always confused me. I'm like, no, it's mid. Because we're on the West. Midwest, technically, to me, is Arizona. That's Midwest.
No,
the west part of the United
no.
States, it's in the middle of
The
that.
bread basket. Your Illinois, your Michigan, your Indiana, your Missouri. That's where I think you're talking Midwest. Minnesota, Midwest.
It doesn't
When
make
you
sense.
start
It
going out
doesn't.
to
wrong.
the Colorados, they got their thing. You go down to like the desert. Texas is his own fucking thing.
fucking
And then
dumb.
you got the South.
And then they go to the South. I'm like, oh, the South. I'm like, no, because Florida's technically in the South, but it's in the East.
I'm sitting in
It's
Champs.
Southeast.
And what comes on? A little ditty by Smash Mouth, which is the Monkeys cover. Which one? What's the name of the actual thing? I
Hey,
thought
Hey
love
with an-
was
I'm a
only
believer.
true. Yeah, Unbeliever. That's a fucking jam.
It's a
great.
fucking
And it's even
jam, dude.
it's even a better jam now that I sit there and remember 800 of
partied
my
with
best
them.
friends dancing around and singing and freaking out to it. You know
it's
what
weird.
I mean? Yeah.
Life's
I had a
weird.
great time that night.
At prom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
night.
I'll never forget the experience of having someone like tap me on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, your special guest is here," and then going back to the green room and meeting all the people from Smash Mouth because they had showed up before, but it was just Greg, the guy who was like DJing to do a sound check.
Did you tell him you didn't respect his craft at that point?
No, because he was doing a DJ set for us, and I was really looking forward to it.
Oh, okay.
Now, if I saw him,
A
I
lot
would
of
say, "Hey,
now you're
hey, I've learned a little bit about myself."
Listen, man, it was
I don't
borderline
respect
for a while
you.
and now I'm
Here we
done. I
are.
just
I don't
can't do it. I
respect
can't
you.
do it.
You know,
Yeah.
you got your Steve Aoki's out there fucking fireworks and shit, and it's
Suki's
like,
brother.
oh, cool, good for you. You're playing music, I guess.
Is that a real person, Steve Aoki?
Yeah,
Steve
he's
Aoki?
the biggest
He's
DJ
that
on the
Asian
planet.
dude with the long hair, the DJs that throws cakes in the audience.
They did a documentary about
Are you
it.
familiar with
No.
Suki from Too Fast, Too Furious?
I
She's
know,
the
I thought-
one-
I was
the
really-
girl that drives the
damn
pink
it.
car, goes off the bridge, and then goes slap that ass.
You thought I didn't know what I was talking about?
No,
again?
well, that
Possible.
a little bit. And that one, when you said Suki, I was thinking Suki from True Blood, Rogue
Suki.
from the X-Men movies.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Anna
oh,
Paquin.
Anna Paquin's got a brother who's a DJ?
No.
No, but I
Man,
think she
no.
does have a brother. So
I mean, I've
No,
heard it
my
both
DJ.
ways.
I've heard it both ways.
He might DJ. He might DJ. Yeah.
the reason I like Grimecraft is because everything he wears looks so cool,
Yeah.
He's cool.
and he wore.
Grimecraft's great because he looks like he's at once from the future, but also like a JRPG game in the future.
Also, like he looks. Yeah, exactly. He looks because he's doing that style where everything's long, where all the shirts are long, and then he's got the
That's
ninja
the
pants
style,
on,
yeah.
and like that's so cool. And I don't think I'll ever feel confident enough to do that. Harley from Epic Mealtime does that style, but he's also 19 feet tall and jacked.
And
so
he's,
it
I was
looks
going to say
cool.
he's cut so much weight.
Funky Cool Medina does that
Lou
style,
Medina, yeah.
where the shirt's a little longer. My shirts, and this is the reason why I can't do the style, are long by necessity because I wear larges.
What would it take for us to have Grimecraft dress you one day and just make a video out of it?
I would do it.
Patreon tier.
we
Set a
st-
milestone of like we've
have-
set this, which will give us $1,000, $2,000 just to
go
give
on a shopping spree.
to hire a documentary crew to file a Grimecraft dressing Nick Scarpino.
I don't even know where you go to get those long shirts.
Where
do you go?
Knowing Grimecraft, Japantown.
store.
Yeah, what obscure boutique store in Japantown
Those
do
are
I
just
go to
normal
get
things
those?
now. Those shirts are just normal shirts.
They're not where I go, man. J. Crew doesn't sell them. That's for sure.
That's your
That's
problem.
for sure.
Still shopping J. Crew?
Every now and again.
Yeah.
My denim jackets from J. Crew. I like certain pieces from J. Crew. Certain pieces.
Okay.
I
That's
go all
fair.
over the place for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gone in a store in a long time.
Should go shopping again. I want to take you
Stitch Fix.
shopping.
We can put that. Well, we can let Grimecraft dress both of us, or we can do it as like a round robin thing where Grimecraft dresses you.
Yeah.
You dress me.
Okay.
I dress Kevin. Kevin goes out for a job interview.
That's great. I will say this: the one and only time I've taken you shopping,
Yeah.
was what I imagine it's like having a child.
100%.
You were just like,
Dude,
I remember.
miserable?
I'm like, Greg, show me the pants. No. Greg, show me the pants. I don't wanna.
wanna.
Greg, just come out and show me the pants. And you came out and you go, I don't know. Are they good? I'm like, do you like them? I don't know. What do you think? You don't like them? I don't know. You have to know something, Greg. You have to have some feeling about
That is
this.
how it is to have a kid.
I
yeah.
don't like this. I don't like this at all.
But
I don't
you,
like any
that's
of
the
this.
thing is I'm never gonna like any of it.
Yeah, I know.
You've got to just.
I
Tell
know.
me
I
what
just
it is.
told you which ones to get. And you wore
That's
those
why
jeans
I
for a
like
very long time.
Nordstrom's because they used to get excited when I would walk in and they'd go, "What do you?" And I'd wait and I'd look around and finally somebody would come out of the show and be like, "Excuse me, sir, can I help you?" And I'd turn to them and I'd say, "Yes, please dress me." And they're
Love
like,
it.
"What do you mean?" I'm like, I just need clothes." And like, "What are you looking for?" And I'm like, "Whatever you want." Like, and
Blank
the
slate.
the
Blank
women were
slate.
always like
Empty
very
canvas.
excited about it. Like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guys were always like, "Oh, all right, whatever."
I do not want to do this.
Yeah, I feel like that's you got to find the right salesperson to help you out with that because you get the person who's like, I'm really into my job, I like style,
Yeah.
and they're Johnny Go Lucky, like, hey, pull some stuff for you just in case, throw it over, which I don't like. I appreciate the hustle, but I didn't ask for those. Don't give me something I didn't ask for. Do you understand me, Tim?
Jesus
Just give me what I want
What? Who
and
are you?
anticipate.
What
The
did
only time
happen?
I don't like
ever-
because I was like, oh, so I found these jeans for you too. I'm like, do I not look like the kind of person who knows exactly what I want? Just give me exactly what I want. They're putting shit over there. I'm like, those are fucking pink. I don't want pink jeans.
Only time I've ever seen somebody get more excited when I turned over all control is at a Comic-Con when I walked into a random hair salon and the woman sat me down. She's like, "All right, what do you want?" I'm like, "I don't know, whatever you think would look good." And she's like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she gave me the exact same fucking
And you
haircut
walked
I
out with the
always
same
had.
haircut?
Yeah, because there's nothing you can do to this. There's no,
There
other than giving
absolutely
me a
is. You
mohawk.
got- No, that'd be
You can't
dope.
do nothing.
I want a mohawk so badly.
Just do
you
it,
got one
coward.
time where they did a little bit of a fade on your sides and you hated it and it looked great.
I don't know if I hated it.
You hated it.
Oh, did I? Okay.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like Clark Kent's hair.
Sure.
And you
That's
love
a big
Clark
part.
Kent.
That's a big part of it. Yeah. Even now it's too long though. I was catching myself in photos from the Kellogg's thing. I was like,
I like it. I think you guys should. Like everyone's hair is great hair. You guys should. You should grow it out a little bit. It'd be fun.
No, I've done it before. It doesn't do it.
not do it.
If I growed it out, how do you want it to look? Am I
Just
parting
have
it down
it
the
be
middle?
like-
Because it's like the beard where it's gonna be awkward for a while, and I don't
You
I don't.
can keep it parted like that.
No, it gets too floppy
gets
on the
big and fun.
sides. I get the hair and I already got the gorilla neck. As
What's a
Greg
gorilla
Miller,
neck?
Greg Miller, #1 crane operator.
Oh, where it's fuzzy?
When I was a
Just
little
narrow it,
cub, he'd be
man.
like, "Oh, you
I'll
got a
come
gorilla
spray you
neck.
down."
Let's go get a haircut." And they're like, "Ooh, wow." And he'd be like, "That's more of a monkey."
Yeah,
like,
he's
You're like,
fuck
Dad,
off,
listen,
Dad.
fuck you,
Stupid
it's my
little
best.
shit.
This is
my
why I'm
best
gonna
thing.
do drugs.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna do all sorts of cool methamphetamines.
Today's sponsor is Hims. That's right, forhims.com. They, of course, are a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness, and more for men. Of course, you've heard us talk about Hims. That's forhims.com before. Nick and Andy are both using it right now to keep their hair. Of course, once you start losing your hair, it's a pain to keep it. So they're trying to right now. Of course, Andy keeps eating those gummies. The way they do it is super simple. You go to forhims.com, you answer some questions, you send some photos, a doctor sends back advice, then they send you the prescription that's right for you. Of course, this is easy. No waiting rooms, no awkward doctor visits. You just get the quality products at a fraction of the cost. Thanks to science, baldness can be optional. Right now, my listeners get a trial of Hims for just $5 while supplies last. You can see the website for full details. This would cost hundreds if you went to the doctor or pharmacy. Go to forhims.com/Greggy. That's forhims.com/Greggy. forhims.com/Greggy. Greggy, get your hair on. They don't have a slogan, I don't think.
I don't know.
Tim,
Yeah.
what's your topic?
I mean, the topic was just going to be RTX and you being in Detroit.
Sure.
I don't think we need to talk too much about RTX because we just did, but I just want to say, confirmed as of now, RTX is my favorite convention.
Oh, really?
Period. E3, I almost don't count because it's such a different
That's
thing.
not really. It's a different. That's more business.
Because, that's my thing is like,
That's more business.
if you counted E3
that's,
press
Tim,
conferences.
that's what they call B2B. B2B.
Business to business. Exactly.
Not,
my
like,
business
not to be
business
confused
side.
with champ to champ.
Champ.
No.
Like RTX to me is more about entertaining people that come
Exactly.
to the show.
And what I love about it is if press conferences counted, E3 is my favorite. I fucking love the hype. It's all great. But in terms of the PAXs, in terms of the MomoCon,
The PSXs.
the PSXs, all this stuff, RTX is just so fucking awesome because everyone is there for a general reason, being some group from Rooster Teeth. And there's not too many of them, so everyone's kind of aware of the other groups, and it's like everyone feels a lot more connected as opposed to a PAX where at PAX it's a lot of different groups and people are there for a ton of different reasons.
Yeah.
At Rooster Teeth, it just feels like there's like a central kind of grounding for
Well, there's
everyone.
a central planning department that goes, hey, you're all scheduled for various things. And that inherently, I think, makes people interact with each other. Like it like the fact that you'll have panels or things where everyone's on different things, or like just the fact that there's a group that's above everyone organizing the whole thing makes it feel way different than a PAX. Because PAX is like you go, you do whatever you want to do. You get whatever you want out of it. You submit a panel, that's cool, but I don't believe that they give a shit that Tim meets someone who's never met before, whereas RT really wants people to collaborate, so they're sort of like creating the environment where collaboration can happen.
And I feel like they've grown so much and have so many different teams that can support different like aspects of the business that really benefit us and how we work because we're similar. And I feel like this RTX was a very good example of the potential of what us maximizing a convention could look like, where we did Let's Play Live, which was an awesome fucking stage show. We had
I heard Johnny showed up. I couldn't make it.
Yeah, he was there.
Was he cool?
He lost the title to Andy.
Kind of a
It's
dick.
too bad for him. He didn't say anything about it. He just said he had a great time.
Oh,
And
weird.
Off to
One of the best
Madrid.
panels we ever had, I think.
On Sunday?
The
Yeah,
signing's a blast as always.
Sure.
And then we did the stand-up comedy night that
Yeah.
I
We did
chalk up as a major success.
That was so
Yeah.
fun.
At
The
the
doc
same
premiere.
venue that I've seen multiple comedy
Yeah.
shows on Netflix at. Like I thought it was fucking really cool, and like seeing different people throughout the weekend. Like there was a bunch of different groups. Like it wasn't just the same people over and over, but there was a contingent of people that went to everything. It's fucking cool.
What was it like for the premiere of your RT first doc?
that
Waiting
was-
for the punchline.
That was really, really cool. I had a lot of anxiety going into that. I think that was the thing I've been most nervous about for last week. But they it manifested itself in
Sorry,
different
guys. There's a spaceship taking off
There's
outside.
just the fucking alien horde outside trying to eat the fucking sidewalk. No, I was looking forward to it. I was very nervous about it. Tim and I had seen a cut.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if they show the cut that we have seen, I'm happy with it. But we gave them a bunch of notes, and I know that they wanted to go back. And they got a bunch of notes from Matt and from Bernie and the team over there.
I was a
And,
little less happy with it. I want to put that out there.
Well,
the first cut. Yeah.
I mean, had they been like, hey, we didn't get a chance to do the second cut, like we're just showing this, I'd be like, cool, like it's a work in progress.
was fine.
And even this was a working print, by the way. This
There's
wasn't
more
the
to
final
happen.
cut.
There's
They're-
still more.
They're going to do
Yeah.
more. They've got more sound. They're going to edit some more stuff into
If
it.
I may,
Yeah.
I want to throw up a quick T for timeout, not for technical.
Okay.
And I'm sure we're doing the same thing. A lot of people don't watch everything we do.
Sure.
What is waiting for the punchline for all the long haul truck drivers
Got it.
who didn't see stuff from RTX?
So
I'm thinking of you guys right now. Toot your horn.
Copy that. Waiting for the Punchline is a feature-length documentary that that followed me around, as well as the comedies. Basically, followed me and the comedy scene in SF, and sort of chronicles my journey from going from being an open mic comedian to trying to do my first ever set officially at the Punchline. Now, for a lot of people who don't know or haven't been following me, or I haven't really talked about it, a lot of guests specifically in the last few months, I go to the Punchline pretty much every Sunday night for what's called the SF Sunday Showcase. I do that for two reasons. One, I enjoy it and I like to support the community. But two, that's the way you get officially an opportunity to get auditioned for and become a regular at the Punchline. That takes a very long process. That takes a very long time. But you generally get your first set officially, and by officially I mean we could go right now and book Punchline for what's called a bringer show, which means that if all of us just can get 200 people in the room or some close to that number, we can recoup our expenses and we can just do that. And people do that, and I've done those shows at Cobb's. My goal right now is to officially be past by Punchline, meaning I become a regular. If I were down at the Comedy Store, it means I got my name up on the wall. It means that you are officially like a comic. You come from someplace. You are like, I'd be a Punchline guy at that point. So
you go every Sunday to an open mic?
No, I go every Sunday to an actual showcase. A paying audience pays to go and see the SF showcase.
Really good. Like,
And
out
it
of
is-
all the comedy shows I've been to, that and the Comedy Store ones, I'm like, holy shit, they are so much better than anything else we've ever seen.
But when you go there on Sunday, there's a chance you might get picked to go up?
So the way the booker organizes the show,
Booker T.
the booker, organizes the show is it's usually a combination of people who have been passed, who are guaranteed one. Like once you're past, one of the cool thing is they don't guarantee it necessarily, but you usually get 1 or 2 sets a month at the showcase.
Okay.
So if I, Nick Scarpino, who've been doing comedy for 10 years and have been passed,
I didn't even know. I thought
I'm
it was like
touring.
a-
I come back. I'm in town on Sunday. I stop by.
Gotcha.
They're probably going to give me a set. I'm going to get like 7 minutes,
Okay.
5 to 7 minutes. It's a combination of really good up and coming comics who are almost to that point or have surpassed that point, and then the people like me who are trying to get to that point. So you'll get maybe like, you get 5 to 7 minute sets and it's 2 hours. I don't know. I can't do the math on that right now, but say out of 10 or 15 comics that go up, 10 of them are great guys, stellar, almost regulars, or have been passed and are
Some
going.
regular
and then
Rodney
5 of them
Dangerfields.
are, I get my first set.
Okay.
And so I told Jeff Ramsey about this when I was doing my first big show at Cobb's, and he was like, that's really interesting. Can I go? Are you like, you're doing a show tonight? Can I go with you to the mic that you want to warm up on first? Because I was super nervous about it. I was like, yeah, come to that mic. You can see that process. Then you can see me kind of in a different environment, which is this 400 seat comedy club at Cobb's. And he was so enthralled with it. He went back and told Lou and he told Matt and Bernie that, hey, this should be a subject of an RT doc. And they were like, cool, let's do it.
Okay.
And so that went from, oh, that'd be really
that was
cool
like
to be able
March.
to, yeah, that was March. And that went from me and Tim going, how cool would it be to like, because Tim's been along for this ride probably closer than anyone else. He comes to all the shows and like films me and has been my biggest fucking advocate.
All right. Well,
on this,
don't
which I
insult Cool
appreciate.
Greg. I'm pretty sure Cool Greg goes to more
Cool Greg
shows.
does, but the Cool Greg sometimes comes, gets drunk, and then like
Fights.
disappears. And then I look at the list and it's got all sorts of tagging on it, and my name's like highlighted. And I'm like, well, clearly they know it's me that I did this. But no, so my goal for this was to really highlight what people go through to even get to that first step, which is getting through at a place like
Gotcha.
Punchline. Going from doing 3 to 4 open mics a night, or I shouldn't say night, maybe let's say like 2 to 3 open mics per night, as many nights as you can get out there, to then trying to book your own showcases, to then getting attention or noticed by Punchline and getting through there. And so I told Tim that, and he was like, that's a great sort of context for this period in your life. And that's a great start and finish, because I was just coming up on my year mark of having gone every Sunday,
Yeah.
which means that technically I could feel okay approaching the booker and saying, hey, I've been here for a year. Just let you know, I'm on your, like, let me get on your radar.
Yeah.
If you want to put me up, cool. If not, that'll be the end of the documentary, as I never got a chance to go up. Maybe
Sure.
I'll get a chance to go up that one day. And so that's what I really wanted to do. And I also wanted to give all my friends that I've made as comics, all my comic friends out there, just a little bit of a highlight, because they're all putting the work in and they're all
Okay.
fucking crazy, cool people.
So they film all this. They show
film
you
all
guys
of it.
the cut.
We filmed it over about 4 weeks, including a crew coming back for a couple Sundays just to see if I got a chance to actually go up a Punchline. And then they go away for a while, and then the first cut comes out, and I got it like 4 days before I watched it, because I have this. I cannot watch myself. I
Yeah.
cannot do it in that context. I even have trouble going back and like watching the morning show. Like I'll pause it and then answer comments, because I'm like, I don't want to hear myself talk.
Sure.
I
Sure,
annoy
sure,
the
sure.
shit out of myself. I can't understand how people watch me.
Meanwhile,
Tim
was
immediately
like,
fires this shit up.
oh, I need to fucking watch this shit. So I brought it home. Me and Gia watched it, and I took a bunch of notes. And it
Did
was
Gia have her shoes on?
no, dude, she had
we need to
those
call
shoes
Gia?
everywhere. But I was watching it, and it was so strong in the beginning, and I feel like it just lost the storyline pretty early on.
Yeah.
And we're just watching. I'm like, and it was an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Like,
it was long.
It's a long thing to be like following the story. I felt like there was way too many threads, and like there was just a lot of issues. And then I came back to you, and I was like, Nick, you should watch it.
So, I was going to watch it. I
Yeah.
just had to muster
Nick's
the
like,
courage.
nah, it's gold, Prince.
Well, because originally he told me, he's like, I'm not going to watch it.
It's one of those things where I'm like, I didn't want to necessarily, like, it's just hard for me to watch. It's hard for me to watch myself, especially since there's some specific scenes where I'm like, wow, That's painful to watch.
To be clear,
really painful to watch.
With everything I'm saying, it was never bad.
No, yeah.
It was at that place where I'm like, this is a 6 out of 10.
You're
And
like, we're almost.
And it's like, like this. I was there, so I knew what
Yeah.
we had. I'm like, there has to be a better way to tell the story.
And that's the thing with like, and this is every project I've ever worked on that I truly like cared about that was intricate, right? Is that there's always that point when you're going through the post where you think it's, oh fuck. Like, there's always a breaking point where you go, let's try to tweak a few things, let's try to sculpt this, and then it clicks. And I feel like when we sat down to watch it a second time, so I ended up having my wife watch it first. And I had her take notes. I was like, I need your perspective on this. I asked Tim for his perspective. I was like, everyone take notes, like we weren't going to.
Let's get my perspective. Yeah.
Well, you're in like Battle Creek, Michigan, fucking reenacting the Civil War. So everyone does that. I sit down finally to watch it, and I'm like, there's a lot here. I think the cut's there. It's just not there yet. And that's always the thing you have to remind yourself of. Like when it's something as intricate as this, there's lots of different narrative threads going on, and there's some things that like a little change here and there, and a little sculpting, a little just if everyone kind of can agree that certain things need to be taken out. We can get it to a different point. And I was like, I'll be happy if we can get this up to like a 7.5 out of 10. And then we go, and I didn't expect to see a second cut or have another round of revisions because I'm not directing this thing. We go to sit down, and I'm like, I don't know how this is going to react. And a couple things really I thought spoke to the strength of this thing. One, I thought that this cut was far better than the other cut.
Oh my God, I was blown away. And like, if the other one was like a 6, this one is at least a 9. Like, it might not be a 10, and I'm only saying that because like
you're close to the project.
10 sounds, I'm too close.
You're a little close to getting.
But fuck, man, it's such like they found the story. They found the stories, and like
as someone who doesn't like Nick. And doesn't like Jeff or any Funhouse. I love Tony Sparks. And hadn't seen it before. Like I was floored. Like I can't fathom from what I saw on Saturday at the premiere of this cut, right?
Yeah,
this work in
right.
progress. They have a lot of stuff. Yeah. I can't fathom what it looked like before because this was so good. Like I was crying so proud at the end. I was so proud of Nick. I was crying at the end. Meanwhile, Jen had been crying for like the final like 40 minutes because there was so much shit happening.
It's little tweaks. There weren't a ton of like it's not like I looked at this and go, oh wow, they really
It's a completely
threw in
different
an extra
movie.
20 minutes. There was extra stuff in here and some stuff was taken out.
It's like a
It was more
line here that
focused.
gives things context.
Yeah.
Like there's shots and there's like B-roll, and like I don't want to give things away, but like there's like moments of things that happen that in the original cut there was no reference to
You just
earlier.
talked about
No
it.
context for
So
it,
it's like you're like, oh man, or I think a good example, and I can talk about this because it's the
yeah,
point.
I mean, you can talk about anything. It doesn't matter.
The point of the entire doc is Nick waiting to go up at the punchline, and there wasn't a good. He talked about it at the beginning of the doc, and it was at the end of the doc. There's an hour.
You don't get
something
reminded of it in the
between,
middle.
You're not reminded.
Yeah, gotcha.
And this really made it. They added dates to it to like show the time of like how many like over the year Nick put into doing all of it.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like little things like that like bring it together because the original cut made it all feel like it was 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. No, this one definitely showed.
And there's some B-roll of me like I talked about jiu-jitsu and I talked about the sort of parallels between doing stand-up and jiu-jitsu, anything that's really hard and challenging. And I think that some of that kind of came out of nowhere in the first cut. And I think in this, there's a little bit more context for it. So it doesn't look like I'm just getting the shit kicked out of me for no reason and sweating with dudes.
Yeah, so like an example of that is when the original GameOverGreggy show, when we did New Year's resolutions, Nick was like, I have 2. One of them's jiu-jitsu and one of them's stand-up comedy. And in the first cut, they didn't have him say the jiu-jitsu part. It was just the stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
So when we saw jiu-jitsu later, it was like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
But now they added that line in, and
Yeah.
now it like shows that kind of parallel between
That's awesome.
the two.
Yeah.
Man,
And I want to give
I'm
a
so
shout out to
impressed.
Tony Sparks as well. You guys have probably heard me talk about him, but he is so fucking
Humans!
fascinating. The way that came about was I was like, he was a part of the original pitch where I was like, you gotta interview Tony.
Yeah.
Tony is a guy that like anchors people in the
Time
comedy
out.
scene.
Who's Tony? If somebody hasn't heard you talk about
Tony
him before.
Sparks is, we call him the godfather of comedy in San Francisco. He hosts a ton of open mics. He was the first ever person I interacted with when I went to an open mic at the Brainwash. He hosted that mic for years before it shut down, sadly. And he is just, everyone knows Tony. To the point where one time, because of the documentary, he doesn't normally go to Punchline, but I got him to go to Punchline because we wanted to get some B-roll of him outside interacting with everyone. He showed up, and I have never seen the booker interact with him before in my life. And the second he walked in, the booker walked right over and was like, "Do you want a set? Can I get you? Like, can you please do a set? We'd love it for you to do a set." And he was like, "That was, it was awesome." So everyone knows Tony. He's famous.
Did he do the set?
Yeah, fucking crushed.
Of course he did. He's Tony
Absolutely
Sparks.
crushed.
He's amazing.
But Tony just is fun.
Tony Sparks, I'm sorry that I'm not on Tim's level or Cool Greg, who you snubbed.
Get on my
But whenever I get to go and I'm invited, Tony's always hilarious and always seems like a very like heartwarming, down to earth guy. But I've never had a conversation with the man, and so then to see this, like, and actually have him just talk at length, to see him shepherd you through it, to see him talk to Jeff, it was amazing.
My favorite things that he's like, some of these people think they're funny as hell. They're not. He's just so candid about it. And then, of course, as part of the documentary, we got a bunch of people together, and y'all did your first show. And that was something we tweeted out like the day of, just to try to get some people out. And of course, a ton of great people came out in the SF area. And so that was the thing I was most excited about. So simultaneously that same day, I was most nervous about the documentary, most excited about the show we were going to do that night and recreating that moment for people at RTX. And I got a lot of people who were saying they were disappointed about not being there. Don't worry. Next time we do it, we'll try to book a bigger venue.
And to be clear, like, we booked a 200 and something person venue
and sold out in 40
You
minutes.
don't get much bigger than that with comedy, because then you lose the
intimacy,
the feel of the room.
Dude, go home tonight and watch Dane Cook on the Circle stage. All right, that's
right.
what we need.
You're right.
We can fill an arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some Kevin Hart shit.
they did. They filled an arena size audience for Let's Play Live. That
Exactly.
must have been like thousands of people in that audience.
Exactly. Why didn't we get that room?
We'll work up to it. But for me, for me, it's just, I talked about comedy as one of the few things in my life that I'm doing just for the sheer fun of it. Like, and I think that that's something I've really learned about comedy, is that I followed that as just, this is a really fun thing to do, kind of fell in love with it. And what's up?
My eyelids stuck together.
Oh, I thought you were like, I thought I said something.
I had a
Sometimes when you give him that look, I'm like, what?
It looked like the look
He
of
gave
like,
you the look, and you gave him look back like, what
like, what's
happened?
he
I'm
doing?
confused. Which is usually my look that I give him.
My favorite, there was once an old GameOverGreggy show where, I turned to Tim and you just had enough of it. You're like, what? What are you fuckers laughing about? Like, it was like totally not in a good place. It didn't come from a good place at all.
But no, I mean, that's been part of the fun of this, and that was so much fun about that day. Is we did a project to highlight something that I'm legitimately passionate about. I really started from a place of like, I just think this is such a nutty environment to be in.
Yeah.
And these people that are in the SF comedy scene are so they're such characters.
Yeah.
But when I met Tony, I remember thinking to myself, this would be fucking such a cool thing to document, because this is such a hard and unique thing that you don't encounter that often in life. And to see that materialize over a year and a half, to then having this beautiful project that's an hour and 15 minutes long, and then being able to host my first show with all of you guys, not only being like there, but being supportive and wanting to hang out and have fun. Like, your set was so fun because you got up and you were just like, I'm gonna have fun. And you told your stories and you made everyone laugh, and you got shots of you laying on the thing. And like, it was cool to be able to sit back and be like, to some degree, I've helped facilitate this.
Yeah, of course.
But we've made this thing.
Yeah,
that's one of the cool things about what we get to do here, is we just make stuff.
Well, it's
And
what
it
you've
just
talked about too, right?
materializes.
We've kicked around for the longest time. When we go to RTX, when we go to Comic-Con, when we go to PAX, doing something outside of the con that isn't just a meet and greet at a bar, right? Because usually the cons facilitate that, where we do the panel, you hang out, you get autographs,
we
you
get to
there,
meet
or there's an
people.
autograph signing or something like that. And so you've talked about it before, and I feel like this is a good function of that, right? Of like, hey, it's kind of funny comedy night or whatever, where you go do and see these things.
And I don't know necessarily. I'm not thinking about it from like a monetization
Oh,
standpoint.
I fucking am. You know what I
It
mean?
doesn't. You're doing it for fun. You know me, man.
No.
The fucking schemes are going.
and that's great. And there's totally ways like that we'll probably charge people for it in the future, but like they did on this one. But I'm looking at it more from the standpoint of like, I'm like, I bet if we do this, it's going to be a really fun thing that a lot of people that traditionally go to an RTX aren't necessarily expecting. And I got a lot of nice feedback of people saying like, hey, just so you know, this was like my favorite part of RTX, because you got to see people perform in a way more intimate setting. It's like, comedy is so much different than a Let's Play Live, where it's 5 people on stage and the energy it's not better or worse. It's just different energy.
Totally.
Whereas we go on stage and I'm like, we got to bring fucking 800% of energy, because there's 3,000 people in this thing and people are screaming and there's beers flying and we're playing games, and fucking Johnny Ace showed up. I was like, I didn't even know he was going to be there, which is crazy. Right?
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
And then you get a 200 seat venue where people, you can see everyone in it and people are expecting, and there's just, you connect differently with the audience. And then there's also the energy of like everyone doing it for the second or third time. Like, that was Jeff's third time, and I made him headline, and he was like, I'm probably gonna, Jeff, he's like, I'm probably gonna do 7 minutes. He did 15 minutes. Like, I lit him 3 times and eventually just put my phone back in my pocket because it's about to die. I was like, let him go. Just let him know what he wants to do. But I love this. And, like Ellis did it for Comic-Con. And I'm like, what a cool thing to be able to do for everyone that's there, like, hey, you maybe can't get into an industry party. Come party with us. We're gonna do comedy for a couple hours and drink some cocktails and have some fun.
So that was the comedy show. We talked about the doc premiere,
Right?
Waiting for the punchline.
Yeah.
You said in there it was something about it was nice our project kind of thing, and it's our project. But in reality, this is the first time in quite a while where you've just got to be talent on something. This isn't a Kind of Funny production. This is a Rooster Teeth production. They're making a documentary about you.
Now, to be fair, because of the nature of this project, I also felt like we had to do some of the organizing, like heavy lifting on it.
Producing.
Simply because, producing, I guess is a better term for that. I'm like, there's got to be a term for like when you help facilitate things. Yeah, I think they call it producing. Largely because this is my world.
Sure.
Like imagine if someone was like, who are you? What are you doing? You'd have to shepherd them through. You'd have to handshake them. You'd have to make
You
sure.
were making the introductions.
So there was a lot of that, but it's weird. The cool part for me is letting go of that control of the post-production process and being like, I have to trust that the director and the producers and the editor know what they're doing, and they have to bring their eye to it. Because if it were me, you know me, I'd be back in the room fiddling around with the edit for the next 6 months, and it would never come out.
Sure.
And so I think that's been part of a really eye-opening, and I think a growth part for like a place for growth for me personally and professionally. Because I'm like, I just want to let it go. I'll give them whatever notes I can, but that's not my responsibility.
Whatever that final product looks like
It's
is
gonna be
theirs. Yeah, we're
and
not.
I think having my faith renewed in their abilities, like I have since I saw the first shot, I was like, oh, these guys are great. They know what they're doing. And shout out to Brian, the DP, because he just filmed the city. It looks fucking gorgeous. It's killer. But being able to, it was a great working relationship because for me, I hate when I feel like I'm doing too much work or I'm doing the bulk of the work. Right. In this, I felt like they were utilizing me as a tool and to open the door into the SF scene.
Yeah.
And I loved that because it meant that the more work I put in, the more visibility they had on the various nooks and crannies of this thing that I wanted to show off. And so I found myself just like, what do you need me to do? I'll go there. I was almost a PA on the project at a certain point because I'm like, I will go by Punchline and I will talk to the manager there and we will, I'll connect with him. And they're like, and Matt, the director, was like, you don't need to do that. We'll do it when we get there. I'm like, no, I want to because it gives me an excuse. It gives me a reason to network with people. Because I've got this cool project that I think is legitimately going to be great if they're in. I'm not selling. Like I would go up to comics, like, I want you to be in this, and they'd be reluctant. I'm like, I've never been able to sell something so easily, not because I'm a good salesperson, but because I love it and believe in it so much that I'm not selling snake oil.
Sure.
I feel like it's the same thing we do here. Where I'm like, people should watch the morning show. It's super fun. I like it. If you don't, fuck off. This was like, people were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, it's going to be a feature length documentary about the scene, and you're going to be in it. It's going to be great. And so that was really fun. I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yeah,
that was my next thing.
I'm so excited for everyone to see it. And again, working with that team, they were amazing, super helpful, super willing to ask for help when they needed it, which I always appreciate. I helped out getting a lot of the B-roll together, and like I have so much footage of Nick doing comedy at like probably 30 different open mics.
Yeah.
And so I was able to send them that like with dates on everything that I've just been archiving because I'm one of those crazy people.
Yeah.
And I was like, I know one day we're going to have this story to tell. Didn't expect it to be so quick.
It was quick.
But like the documentary fucking is better off for it because it's like we have the shit to back it up.
Oh yeah. It's definitely
like the juxtaposition between you performing stand-up comedy in a bar to 3 people that I have footage of compared to you crowd surfing at Kind of Funny Live.
It's weird. It's
like
cool.
It's cool that we have all of that to give them, and it's all in there, and it really makes it feel like a
Do you still have the sex
premium
tape?
content. The sex tape?
Yeah.
I mean, I gave it to them. They didn't make the cut.
Okay,
I thought that was weird.
I guess it makes people throw up.
The biggest question we've gotten since talking about it, because we've talked about it obviously here, but then we were talking about how great it was and how much it made me cry and all that jazz. When is it coming out?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
So here's the thing. What I can say about it is we are trying to get it into proper film festivals.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, it is not allowed to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Because film festivals have like first
rules. This
viewing
is a thing for
rules,
heel
yeah.
kick that was a problem.
or whatever it is. So it's like we got to work through all of that.
So yeah, I think we're trying to figure out and identify some festivals that we can get into right
Okay.
now. Obviously we're showing another cut of it. I don't know if it's gonna be the final cut, probably not. At Out of Bounds Festival in Austin, so I'll be back in Austin in a month to show that and do a Q&A.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a little show before that as well. Me and some of the locals.
We're definitely trying to work on getting some screenings together in other places as well.
Yeah.
And I can promise that eventually you will see it. Like for sure.
Yeah. Eventually it'll be on Rooster Teeth
On
first.
Rooster Teeth, yeah.
And that's the thing. It's a Rooster Teeth first thing, right?
It is a Rooster Teeth first
RT docs
property.
are only on first.
RT docs are exclusive to first,
Yeah.
so you do need to pay for it. There is a free trial, but eventually that will be the case.
But importantly, if you miss the screenings and you're going to do that, don't sign up until it's about to go up, right? Because we'll get some kind of code or some shit, right? And to show that like
If you
friends.
want to give RT First a shot, just for whatever, you can go to roosterteeth.com/kindafunny, I want to say it is, or roosterteeth.com/first, promo code kindafunny. Whatever it is, like that, it does help us.
But wait, if you're one of those people who I don't fucking want to pay, I don't want to wait for the free trial and use it.
I can
on
say
Nick's
this
thing.
like openly, like we are trying to get our content on Rooster Teeth in the same way that we have it on YouTube and we have it in other places. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff.
So you're talking about all the free content that goes up on YouTube.
All the
It's
free
trying to get
content.
in there. It's just another distribution.
Just like it's
platform.
a syndication platform.
Yeah, the same way we just got on Spotify and all
Yeah.
that. Like, trying to get the video stuff on roosterteeth.com in addition to everywhere else. And once we get that figured out, pretty much it's like one of those chicken and egg things, figuring out the film festival stuff and figuring out how we can get all our stuff properly archived and on Rooster Teeth. But then once those two things are answered, which we're hoping is as soon as possible.
Yeah, and
You guys will be
to
able to
pull
see
the curtain aside, it's because Tim and I are so fucking proud of this. We want to milk the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Like I want to get as much mileage out of this as possible. I want it to be seen by as many people as possible and get as much buzz as possible because I'm so tremendously proud of it.
This thing is bigger than us. And I feel like there's been a handful of times in our life as Kind of Funny that we've had moments that I'm like, wow, this is really something super, super special. And I feel like this is the latest, and not the last, but latest example
Milestone
of that.
moment.
Yeah,
It's a
for sure.
it's a big one.
So then for a naysayer on, say, Reddit, who wouldn't be happy that we're putting our stuff on Rooster Teeth? Why are we putting our stuff on Rooster Teeth?
Rooster Teeth made it.
No. I'm talking about the other thing. Of
He
course,
means
the
just our
doc. Yeah, the
content,
RT doc.
syndicating
But
it.
you're talking about syndicating our stuff to Rooster Teeth.
Oh, I mean, why? I don't. There's no argument I can see that would make sense for that not to make sense. Like,
I'm 100% with you,
Yeah,
but I just
yeah,
want to
yeah.
have. I want to have that conversation that's been presented at the table.
I mean,
right?
what I just said, RTX is my favorite convention. It's because it has a bunch of great people that just want to like great things. And we've seen over the last couple of years a growth in the amount of people in our panel. And it's
Yeah.
because of being at Let's Play Live, being part of the community, making friends with all these like-minded or very different people when it comes to people like Sugar Pine 7, Funhouse, like the whole gamut over there. And it's like, it's not like, oh, we want their audiences, but it definitely is, oh, hey, how can we grow the best friend community to be even better and stronger?
I think you nail it. Yeah, we don't want their audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want all of the Funhouse people Funhouse fans to come watch our content. I want the best friends in the Funhouse audience to come watch our content.
Totally.
The people who
And they're
watch off topic and think that's a fun idea for a show, come watch the fucking original one before Jack Patillo ripped us off, the GameOverGreggy show. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah.
Don't think
We
about it. Just say
invented
yes.
podcasts.
Don't think about
The
it.
amount of
We
people I
invented
saw at
podcasts.
RTX this year that were telling me like, hey man, like I just started watching you because I saw you at Let's Play Live, watch the morning show every day.
Yeah.
I'm this person in the chat
Yeah.
or whatever. It's like, it's really fucking inspiring to see us kind of not just have this like San Francisco games media, really small kind of reach and be able to talk to people around the freaking world.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I mean, a good example is we're going to London, right? I mean, you're
RTX
going to
London,
London to meet
Lucky's.
people, and it's like
you, man.
So
it's
jelly.
because of that type of relationship. And
No, I mean that's the biggest thing about it, right? Of when it came along, my thought on it, right, was of course we're gonna do it because why wouldn't I? It's something honestly that I think we don't get to do a lot of, but I think IGN taught us, especially at the end, right, of like our time there, because where IGN had evolved to, in the way that we can't sit there and say, all right, well, they're going to come to kindoffunny.com. They're going to come to IGN.com. The day of a .com homepage is kind of dead, right? You want to
You
be...
go to kindoffunny.com if you want to see all our content and
Well,
schedule. It's great.
Of course,
Well,
it's great.
There's
And, like,
specific
tours.
use cases,
But I'm
just- I'm
saying in
teasing, I'm
terms
just
of... I know. I'm just trying to say...
getting
you
more-
can give me scratches, yeah. But in terms of you have to go to the audience, right? Like you have to figure out... We're trying to figure out how to be better
Great
on
point.
Facebook. We're trying to figure out how to get best friends and find them
Yeah,
anywhere
there's-
they are.
like-
And so
there's not much of a
sending them to
downside.
Rooster Teeth makes sense because guess what? The people who only watch their videos on Rooster Teeth don't watch the YouTube videos and don't find us on YouTube and don't find us on podcast services. I think that's the thing, right? Try to find that audience. Nick Scarpino.
You guys are being way
kindoffunny.com.
too humble. I want our content on Rooster Teeth because we're just better than all those guys over there.
Well, that's
And
true,
I'm
too, of
pretty
course.
Sure once we start putting our content on there, everyone at Rooster Teeth is like, we have had the wool pulled from our eyes.
Yeah.
This Bernie Burns character, this Gus Sorolla character, they don't know what they're talking about. We got to come over to the game. It's all about the GameOverGreggy show.
Exactly. Well,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
kind
talking
of funny games daily,
about.
probably.
Grow the ranks take over the world.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Next
Grow the ranks,
question,
take over
Tim.
the world.
Yeah.
And I'm just being the naysayer for you.
Real quick, I want to. If there's anybody out there that does have a compelling argument against this, I would love to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not shutting anyone down. But like, before you even answer that, like, what would be the difference between Stitcher and or Spotify and Rooster Teeth? Right.
I totally agree with you. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think it's you know as well as I do, and I'm sure some people who are watching are best friends, depending on how much you want to watch any of our platforms, Reddit, Twitter, whatever. There's always this concern that we're becoming too much like Rooster Teeth, or that Rooster Teeth is going to buy us and change everything, or blah, 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 and all these other arguments that personally I don't find validity in. We're going to be ourselves and we're going to do it, but I want to address it head on, of course, as we continue to have this conversation with them of putting the content out there. Yes, that's the best way to put it. This is another Spotify for us. This is another Stitcher. This is another way to get the content in the hands of somebody else. It's another way to, okay, cool. It's very similar to IGN, where we used to sit there and the IGN views on the YouTube or the IGN views on IGN.com were what we cared about and needed, and fuck everything else. And then it was a way of like, well, wait, if we put it everywhere else, if you give it Snapchat, if you give it Instagram, if you give it this, if you find a way to package it, you find a new audience, you get numbers there as well. So yeah, like the numbers on Rooster Teeth still help us in the long run of what kind of fun he is.
Yeah. I'm excited. I mean, it's all,
dude,
all great. It's only good news. There is, as far as I'm concerned, not a single bad thing about this.
And especially because Rooster Teeth's a bunch of idiots and lets us still promote the Patreon on there. Yeah. So we're just saying, come pay for the fucking content here. You know what I mean? Get all the exclusive access here. Yeah, exactly. We fucking got him, Kevin. We Trojan horsed in.
I love it.
They're screwed or whatever.
Yeah.
Are we planning to be sold to Rooster Teeth anytime soon?
We will. No, I mean, I don't want to say we will never.
Yeah,
be
never
sold
say
to
never.
Rooster Teeth.
Right,
Never say never. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I have no plans of selling to anybody anytime soon.
Yeah.
And if we ever did, it would be the right thing to make us make more of the stuff that we want to do.
Sure.
Like, I don't think that there is any single thing you can look at in the history of Kind of Funny that doesn't make sense as you go through.
Sure.
That's just my perspective on it.
Yeah.
But it's like when you look at where our content is now, you can see the line of how we got there, and you can see the line of where we're going.
Yeah.
There might be hitches along the way, but all of us are the same people we were 5 years ago, and I think that we're going to be very similar people in the next 5. Right?
No. So I went to Battle Creek, Michigan. Did a meet and greet at Buffalo Wild Wings. It was one of my favorite meet and greets of all time. Of course, everybody's amazing there. Everybody's amazing at every meet and greet. But we had, I'd say, 75 to 80 throughout the night. Kids come through. At the end, because of course people drove 3 hours to get there. You're fucking all crazy people. At the end, people had started to pair off and leave. I gotta go. I gotta work tomorrow. I gotta do this or whatever. So we got it down to a manageable group, I would say, of 10 tables and a U around me at the center, right? And I brought them all together and then just sat down and I'm like, I guess it's like a Q&A. What do y'all got? And we just started shooting. Awesome. They would ask me questions about Kind of Funny or the content.
That's cool.
And mainly about us, not about like games, like what do you think of this or anything like that. But one of the questions I really enjoyed was from the back of the room over here. I can picture you with glasses and brown hair. Or maybe black, it was dark out. Was like, are you guys planning on being in San Francisco forever? Right. And I was talking about it of like, well, that's a great question. It's something we go back and forth on all the time. Not really back and forth, but it's something we debate all the time. Yeah. What is the right answer? You can move to LA, you could do this, but San Francisco gives us the game's media reach. And I don't know, the people in LA would be the same. If we moved to Columbia, Missouri, like I'd always want to, right? It would just be the 7 of us and there wouldn't be any, million things. But at the end of the conversation, the point I stumbled into in the Greg Miller rambling ass way, right, was the fact that, yeah, you're right. We could totally move to a million different places and make more money, have more money, and it would definitely be better for us in the short term in terms of what we could bank in our own savings and then flip the switch, sell the company, and be done with it. But that's never what I planned for with this. You know what I mean?
No,
I want it to be that in 20 years, I'm still. Whatever that means in the company, maybe I just host the GameOverGreggy show, but we've hired all these different names you hear about and all these different names I've never even heard of yet. And they're in making content and they're making stuff for the best friends. And that's how it all exists. You know what I mean? And that's the commitment I have to it. So no, it's not like, I know that there's always, I don't personally get it, but I know that there's a concern and there's a vocal part of the community that is very terrified of what Rooster Teeth is or would do to us or whatever. But we're just using them as another content delivery service, and it doesn't go further than that.
And more than that, I love Rooster Teeth. I always have. That doesn't mean I love everything that they do. That doesn't mean I consume even 90% of their content. I think at this point, I probably consume 10%, if even.
Yeah.
And even of that, that's of their shows, I only watch 3 episodes a season or whatever it ends up being. But anybody that hates Rooster Teeth or whatever, I honestly believe isn't giving them a shot, because there is, if you're a fan of the internet, if you're a fan of videos, they're doing something that's probably going to be up your alley, because there's such a wide gamut of stuff. It's just like kind of funny on a much bigger scale of if you don't like the shenanigans in the morning show, then maybe Games Daily's style is for you. If you don't like the rigidness of Gamescast being like structured or whatever, it's like, okay, cool, GameOverGreggy show. Like there's so much different stuff for people. But,
And Day 5's great.
And then
that's the one piece of content I think I consume from Rooster. So many times I'm talking. I love Always Open, but I haven't listened since forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They have so much shit. And then they got
Lots of
Genlock
stuff
coming
to
up.
do.
Like there's so much cool shit that they're doing.
Yeah, I agree.
So Battle Creek, Michigan.
Yeah, but
Let me tell you about this. We're getting ready to go to RTX. And there starts to be a rumbling from one Kellogg's of the cereal company, ladies and gentlemen, that they want Greg Miller to come to Battle Creek, Michigan and speak to all the marketers across
you
the
don't know
country.
how to eat cereal.
This was discussed. This
Did
was
you-
discussed
were
on the
you
panel.
transparent with it? Because I don't want to get too far down this relationship and have that be a deal breaker.
No, it
Where
was
they're like,
discussed
You don't
on the
use
thing.
milk? What, you a fucking psychopath?
We eventually, I brought up the fact that one of our most popular doodles is me eating cereal like a horse, and then explaining that meant I meant it, eat a try. That got a laugh, and somebody else had brought up the fact that there's a YouTuber, it was a panel of influencers, right? Somebody brought up a thing of like there's somebody who eats it with water, and everybody universally was like, well, that's a bridge too far. That's gross. That's
my
disgusting.
God.
I almost threw up in my mouth.
That's disgusting, right?
Remember the movie where they were like, we drink cereal with beer? Like we eat cereal with beer?
I do.
I forget what movie that was.
It was, hold on, Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the Nerds, they put beers and Rice Krispie together. It's disgusting. And that's why the nerds were perverts. And were
a great movie.
They would have gone to jail. One you definitely can't
they
remake that.
definitely would have.
We should do a Revenge of the Nerds in review and also rake up their crimes.
Oh, yeah.
How many years are these fucking nerds serving in a federal
Computer
penitentiary?
crime, peeping Toms.
They hit me up saying that, do you want to come speak to Kellogg's about video games and gamers or whatever? Which I know what you're saying, everybody.
Was
I
Tony
roll.
there?
I roll. No, like, ugh, what a weird, gross thing, right? Of like, that sounds weird, because whenever somebody hears marketing, they think gross. Yeah.
At any point, did they play, y'all ready for this? And then Tony the Tiger came out.
No, I'm not even there yet. You know what I mean? But what it was is that they were bringing everybody together because Kellogg's wants to do more with gaming, like more with the gaming sphere, and they admittedly don't know anything. They're very much like, we don't understand it, and we want to bring in
Greg
experts.
Miller. You're our only hope.
Exactly. So I was out there on a panel with a guy from a PR agency called Edelman. You probably don't know it, but behind the scenes, they do a whole bunch of PR stuff for video games. And it was me and then 3 esports personalities, 2 of which are lovely ladies who run a company and host stuff and do stuff. And then one guy who used to do stuff with Andrea at Yahoo and now runs a YouTube channel about esports and stuff like that. But I was like,
one of them Shocks?
I don't think so.
Well, only esports lady I know.
Oh, sure. Golden Boy wasn't there, of course. My boy. But it was us talking about that on one panel. But then the other panels, they had some people from Twitch. They had people from IGN, not IGN sales team, about how they work with video games and what it is. They had a guy there from Blizzard. They had people there talking about what all gaming is. And what was awesome for all these people in the crowd from Kellogg's was they were there and they were engaged. You ever do it where you go there and everybody's on their phone, not listening, half listening, taking notes, whatever? The panels would not even end. In the middle of panels, people would raise their hands and ask questions about what you were saying and trying to understand it. Yeah. And, it was, when they originally hit me up, I was like, this is such a weird thing. But then to sit there and have them explain it in email of like, well, no, it's that, we see how other brands are doing it. We don't want to do it in a gross, weird way. We want to find out organically, how do you do this? How do you advertise in 2018? How do you advertise on the internet? How do you integrate with something, right? And so to go there, I was obviously picked because of you, the best friends and everything else we do, right? And, I got up there and it was super easy because it was what's our story, which is fucking a crazy story to begin with, right? But then it was like talking about what we've seen in our sphere, how it works for us. And as usual, talking about the ethics of Kind of Funny, like I always say, that first episode when we went live on Twitch, right? Of being like, well, you'll know it. When somebody asked in the chat, what's your ethics policy? You'll just know it. We're going to tell you everything. And the fact that because we're transparent about that, you guys, the best friends, are okay with that. And, telling
And it
them,
makes it easy for us to, when we're talking to sponsors, any potential sponsor, being super straight up of like, this is what we'll be comfortable with, and we're gonna tell people. And if you're not comfortable with that, we're peace,
and that was the same thing of like Kellogg's, the folks talking about like, well, how do brands work with you? And I'm like, well, they work with us. They know who we are and what we do. And they're going to be okay with us saying fuck and a weird ass joke and Nick being Nick and all this other stuff, right? And if you're not, you don't do that. You have to give up control. You have to understand what's about to happen when somebody does something. And so it was me telling stories about DiGiorno being in the chat and then doing all stuff and taking care of prom and giving away pizzas and then the pizza wars that got us a pizza oven and talking about Portillo's and like that it was a huge day of celebration in the community when we finally got a sponsorship from Portillo's for Italian Beef Week, right? And it was just really refreshing to see a company try to understand. And they had hired a group to come in and set up a gaming lounge. And so like in between panels, the people from Kellogg's would walk out and like talk to me afterwards and ask me a whole bunch of questions, bounce ideas for products they're working on right now off me. And then they'd go in and there was like one corner that had Fortnite, a giant screen that was running Overwatch, Cuphead was there. I was like, I know a guy who beat that. They had a whole bunch of games that are like current of like, this shows you a slice of what's popular in gaming and why, right? It's like I'd go back in there and I'd start playing Fortnite and then I was running like a Fortnite demonstration of explaining what it is and why it's happening and why it's so popular and all this different stuff.
Awesome. That sounds fun.
It was. I just feel it was such a weird, not a normal kind of funny opportunity, right?
Well, what makes it kind of funny is you, obviously, being there and being like, well, I'm going to throw a meet and greet at a Buffalo Wild Wings. Who's going to come?
Yeah.
Like that. I love that we get opportunities that allow us
to go to random ass places.
To go to random ass places that we wouldn't ever really go to.
Yeah.
So it's cool. And, I'm sure that made a lot of people's nights.
Oh, and my God, no, that made for the best friends who came out, they made so many people's nights. I was talking about earlier. Definitely go to twitter.com/GameOverGreggy and watch the Periscope of me walking to the meet and greet and asking someone to come pick me up, and then the two dudes rolling up and picking me up in the Goodwill parking lot. Like, it's awesome. But
now,
like,
I want to let you know, Greg.
Yeah.
You tweeted that out, and you're like, oh, it's too far. Someone come pick me up. I didn't realize, because I'm stupid, that you meant in a car. So I thought that people were going to come and that you were trying to get enough people to come and actually
surf me
carry
in.
you.
I would have done that.
Like, oh,
I would have done that for sure.
Is he doing it?
Yeah, I know.
Makes sense.
Then I watched it. I was a little disappointed.
But I think the meet and greet in the Wild Wings thing, right, is such a great example of why they wanted to talk to someone like me who has a community like ours. Because it was that when it started, like literally opening remarks, the woman who was like running the whole thing, she was like, and I know one of the, Greg from the, influencers held the thing last night at Buffalo Wild Wings. How many people came out? And I was like, 75 to 80. And like, there was a collective gasp. Because there was like, I didn't know there's 75 or 80 people in Battle Creek. Like, right. But it was like, and that's what I got up there to explain of like, it is this thing of, the community wants to see us succeed, and in a meet and greet, like in a random ass place, like we never go to, those get the best turnout because it is friends look at each other and like, dude, it's 3 hours away, but when are we gonna get a chance again? They know they're not gonna go to a PAX. You know what I mean? They know they've missed a Chicago meet and greet. They know that this is their best way. And I don't think I've said it on this show, but like, there were multiple people who said they had missed my tweets, they had missed my Instagram, they had missed my stories. They heard about it on the morning show when they were cooking dinner, listening to the morning show. And it was literally
Battle Creek.
They turned off the burners and got in their car and drove out to see us at Wild Wings. Like, it's insane.
Except for that one that forgot to turn the burners off.
Dun, dun, dun.
And burned his entire apartment complex.
He was a DJ
down.
though, so you don't respect him.
Now he's gonna be
anyway.
super
It
villain.
was like I was just fucking throwing discs all last night, spinning discs.
But no, it was a super cool opportunity. You know what I mean? Of like, it was a corporate speaking engagement, I guess, on paper. That was the least corporate thing I've ever heard of. Where
That's
was
awesome.
They were all down and they all had
going
questions.
into it, we were a little bit like,
Let's see what this is gonna be.
It'll be worth it for the meet and greet, but this sounds lame as fuck. But it's good.
Exactly.
Well, it sounds like it was gonna be what it sounds like.
Exactly.
Which is
But it wasn't. It was an intimate thing at Kellogg's HQ, talking to people who want to do this shit right, and that's what it's all about, right?
I love that though. Like I like traveling with you guys, and I like having an opportunity to go to places that I normally wouldn't. And that's like the first and only time we went to Plano, Texas. I was like, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
There's a quaintness to being like, I would never.
We've
got to
figure out a
Texas.
way to go to random places more. Because you say a random ass place we would never go. I would say random place we never usually go, right? And that's the thing we were talking about it today with one of the other cons. Somebody asked us, Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con.
NYCC.
And it was like, well, if somebody sponsors us to go there, sure. We don't like paying for these trips on our own because they're so expensive, and going to RTX, going somewhere else, RTX is a bad example. PAX, right? Just use PAX. PAX isn't usually, we're making content, which means we're publishing something. We're actually not making content. We're actually not doing the job, which actually hurts the bottom line. So we need to figure out a way to do that, right? And so I would love in the future to figure out a fucking way to be like, I don't know if it's Patreon or something else, but like, here, we're gonna go to random ass places. Like, let's just get, you know what?
Let's just go fucking hang out, man.
The commitment is we're going and we're doing a Wild Wings meet and greet at this place, that place, whatever.
I love
no,
it.
not just Wild Wings, but if you want to sponsor Wild Wings.
No, I was gonna say we could do. Yeah,
That's not a bad
fun.
idea, actually.
The Tim Gaze in me is
Scheming on Wild
is
Wings.
scheming about that.
No,
That's great.
What are you doing? What are you looking up?
I don't know. I'm making a note.
Oh,
That is
okay.
a good idea.
Yeah.
I think this is a great idea. I also I'm
The
like
Buffalo
that's a
Wild
lot.
Wings Worldwide Wing Tour,
That'd be so fun.
starring Greg Miller and Andy.
Because that's the thing. Like RTX was really that was fun. It was a lot of work.
Sure, but it was the fun work. It was the performance
It was,
work.
but I love the idea of just going to places and like
Chilling
having,
out, just doing meet and greets?
yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Just having an excuse to go there because then we could actually like see some of the cities and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It was fun.
Good idea. You know, every once in a while, Greg,
Thanks, bud.
you've earned it.
Champ to champ. When we were leaving, did I tell you this? When I finished the speaking engagement, got into the car they got for me, fell asleep. And I got in the car, the guy's at the airport, right? I'm like, yeah, I fall asleep. Wake up. He actually drove 30 minutes in the wrong direction to the Kalamazoo airport. And I rolled up and I'm like, dude, I'm supposed to go to Detroit. And he's like, are you serious? And he looked at the paperwork. He's like, I'm so sorry. Somebody said Kalamazoo and I never checked the paperwork. And back on the highway. So just added about an hour to my trip.
Did you make it though?
That's why.
Oh yeah, I had plenty of time. I was pre-checked, and because I originally started telling this, we signed the deal when we were already I was at the airport to go to RTX.
Yeah.
So I bought more shirts first a Meyer in Battle Creek, but then at the show to kind of pad out the collection. And I was with Jen and Porty, so I just went with a backpack, and so I was traveling super light, but it was like, oh crap, okay, this is extending the trip in a way we didn't expect. Yeah. But I made it, and then the fucking plane was all fucked up.
Do you ever see a future, Greg, where if money is no object, you just go to places, buy underwear, as you wear them, you throw it out?
Sure.
Just
Well,
throw 'em
like
out.
I bought this is an interesting Greg Millerism right here, of course. Get ready for your, Team Fat's dead and all this shit. I'm in a weird spot right now where some extra large shirts, like this chicken wing shirt, perfect. They fit great. Some I'm in a dress.
Yeah.
And so it's a gamble now. Extra large or large, because a large, I have that great Superman shirt, my favorite Superman shirt, that blue one from the Batman Superman box, right? That we unboxed at one time. That I've only been comfortable enough to wear in public once because it is very tight. And someday, depending on what I've eaten, what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I was like, I need new shirts. I went into the Meyer. I was looking around. They had superhero ones. They had a Superman distressed. However, light color. I know I'm going to be sweating tonight. I know I'm going to pit out and can't do that. So then I'm like, what about black shirts? I fucked up. At the Detroit airport, they had a shirt that said Detroit versus the world. I was like, that's a pretty dope
cool.
shirt. That's a pretty dope shirt. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it was good. I like it. I was like, I don't need to worry about it. I'm going to be able to wear this shirt, the shirt I was wearing. And I got to the hotel. I was like, this is a bad idea. This shirt smells like I've been on an airplane all day. Went to the Meyer, superhero shirts now. Finally found a Golden Girls one. Of course, everybody knows we love the Golden Girls. It was a good callback to Xavier Woods, of course. Huge Golden Girls fan.
Savage.
But I picked up the XL and I'm like, too big. Picked up the large. I'm like, I don't know. Got in the fitting room, tried on the large. I'm like, perfect. However, then I went there, ate a whole bunch of spicy garlic wings, whole bunch of potatoes. And then I was like, I couldn't even suck it in for photos anymore. And I was like, I don't know if this shirt can hold that anymore. And then I'm sure after I get washed, it's going to have to be just a fucking thing. Also, though, shout out to, everybody knows, we talked about him earlier, Fareed from Rooster Teeth, right? Guy sucks, right? I had asked for a Funhouse shirt, that cool Funhouse shirt that looks like my Mizzou shirt a long time ago, right? Guess what he says? Sorry, Greg, they got no more of them. You know what I mean? Now, granted, he sent Jen all the fucking barber stuff. He sends me all the stuff I need. But this one time he failed me. That's why he sucks. Went to RTX, though. RTX store. They were selling the Funhouse shirt I'm talking about. The white V-neck, if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Sort
the
of
white.
classic 70s style shirt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I fucking put that shirt on. Guys, we got to make a shirt like that because that and the Missouri shirt, I look fucking awesome in. We need to make one of those. Maybe make it blue.
Exclusively.
Blue, exactly. So I just want all my shirts to be this kind of shirt now.
Okay.
Freeze
I'm a
very
fan
nice
of them
person.
because they hug the biceps and make
Yes.
the bicep look a little bigger.
And they got those white lines around it, making the
it
biceps
draws
look
attention to the fucking gang and shit.
I thought gang
This
and
is
shit.
thunder and this is lightning.
Oh,
And this
sorry.
is gang and that shit.
I apologize. I didn't realize.
when they're in this mode, when they've transformed into this
Sure.
mode, this is gang and shit.
If you're
Like
at
the
home right now,
truest
he's
form.
doing Spider-Man.
So
hands,
for
the
those of
cool
you who
Greggy.
don't understand how Dragon Ball Z works,
I don't. That's me.
No. I'm not gonna try it.
I
I
was
wasn't
like,
gonna even try it. I wasn't even
"Do you,
gonna try
Nick?"
it. Super Saiyan Goku. Is that the one with the Super Saiyan with the blue?
Yeah,
Super
yeah,
Saiyan.
yeah.
It's saying.
I'm just
What are you
saying,
saying?
Kevin.
It's saying.
It's saying what?
Who's saying what?
Why?
Kevin.
Kevin.
What's that, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, you've enjoyed this show and you want more? Well, there was a 30-minute pre-show, of course, that you can get on patreon.com/kindafunny. Of course, after this, there will be a post-show. I'm not telling you how long it'll be. If you're watching live, like you could be for just $1 on patreon.com/kindafunny, you can hang out and watch it. If not, you can get it in the video version we put up on patreon.com/kindafunny each and every week. There's an audio version that goes live earlier, but it's not the same. Everything's free. youtube.com/kindafunny and podcast services around the world next Friday, but not the pre and post show. Yeah.
Are we gonna leave this one with a cliffhanger like we did last time?
Oh, you want to start the conversation and stop there?
Yeah, I'll ask a question and then we'll answer it.
What's the question going to be?
What is the square root of 64?
Terrible. What the fuck kind of question
You'll
is
find
that?
the number out on the post show.
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy Show. Each and every week, 3, sometimes a million best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic discussion for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny where you can get each and every episode early. Of course, we want to thank Patreon producer Tom Bach and all these people who made the show possible. And maybe a sponsor? Greg didn't look at that before he came out here.
Definitely a sponsor.
Really?
100% a sponsor, yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm helpful. You want to pull it up, Big Cow?
Yeah. Damn it, I pulled
Should
it
we
up.
insert
Had
it?
a lot going on before the show.
Yeah, me
have to
too.
insert it?
Me too. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
probably
we'll-
have to insert it at
Let's
this
insert
point.
it right into the middle.
Yeah, well, that's how it works.
There was a
That's
great
sponsorship.
spot where we stopped and then you said, let's talk about Battle Creek, Missouri. That would be a great spot for
I
it.
That was way past it. All right.
Michigan, not Missouri.
Jesus.
That was an hour.
That's like Battle Creek should be in Missouri, not Michigan.
It also didn't have anything to do with the Civil War. I don't think Michigan was a hot spot for the Civil War.
I just
as you
imagine
That's
know.
why it was
Everyone-
extra weird you were reenacting it there.
I know. Well, you go where the art takes you.
Got it.
Wherever it's gonna be, that's what you do. When you're here, you're family.
When you're here, you're home
you're here.
and family.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you. Thanks for watching the Game Over Greggy Show, everybody. Click here to subscribe to our channel. Click here to support us on Patreon. Click here, maybe over Nick, to go see other episodes we've done before. And then click where Nick's foot probably is to go to the Kind of Funny Games YouTube channel. There's a lot of cool stuff over there. It's always weird when somebody tells me they didn't know about the other YouTube channel. But hey, to each their own. Whatever you do with that mango is your business.